itself, guys. So it is as actually I'm discussing about that. So it is. So basically, I was having around some 18, 19 years of experience, mostly which is involved in the a part of which is going to be the training, development, support, and all these things. It was there. My complete specialization is on the data itself, actually, guys. Completely, it was on the data. So I started with my data science, with my data management, and after that, I have been moved years I was into the data science, guys. So even I'm handling the data science related training programs also. Just a second, guys. Power has been resumed. Just a second, guys. Yeah, no problem. Just a second. Power has been resumed, guys. Just give me a second. It will be gets connected. Just give me a second. Right. Okay. So let's continue, guys. Generally, it's only just 2-3 minutes of power failures will happen. Generally, not more than that. Right, guys. So now I was into the data science. So what I am saying here is, as part of the data science, because as a data scientist or as a data analyst or a data science expert, generally I was very clearly aware about like which is going to be what kind of data visualization. And we already have one of our old student, which is Sudipta. So he is Sudipta Modak. He has already completed the data science from my old. I think I didn't remember exactly. The data I was data science, machine learning. As a data science or a machine learning expert, so we really know like what type of reports, what type of data visualization, what is the importance of the visualization. We clearly know about that. But from the last 5 years, I am working on data visualization, but it is completely by using, previously I have been got worked with SSRS reports actually, guys. But that is going to be in 2012 to 2014, which is at 10 years back. That SSRS itself has been got updated to the Power BI by the Microsoft. So let me tell you about those things. In 2 years, 10 years back only, I have been got worked with the reporting services. And after that, now it has been became Power BI. Initially, it was not that much popular. And I was also moved towards the big data systems, data science. And nowadays, again, as part of the industry standards, we are using I'm an expert in the data visualization expert by using the Python libraries. Mostly, I uses the Python. Even I also will explain like, even it is not required for us. I am using from the last 5 years, I'm using the Python libraries actually. I was a very expert in the how I'm developing this particular the data visualization by using the Python. But from the last 1 year, I have been seeing the companies are asking, instead of using the Python libraries, Yeah, please be online, guys. Just the power has been resumed now. So just a second, it's disconnected. Please be online, guys. Madam, host comment. Yeah, right, guys. So sorry for the disturbance, guys. There is a small power failure. Okay, so power has been resumed. So we'll continue it. So guys, yeah. So what I'm talking about here is, so being we are using from the last 5 years, I'm using the Python libraries and R libraries for the data visualizations. But now, as part of the industry standards, now the companies are mostly asking for, which is going to be the Power BI also, Power BI or anything like an, which is going to be Tableau or a ClickView or a ClickSense. They're asking about some kind of a tool, which is a GUI based tools. It is going to be there. So that's why, so from the last 1 year, so I have been giving some trainings on this particular Power BI. So just it is going to be a part of our data science course. But we want to start with I want to start with an full-fledged, which is going to be a complete expertise. As part of the data science also, I used to teach the Power BI, but only just an outline of the Power BI only we used to teach it actually. But so I plan to start with a full-fledged, a complete full-fledged reporting tool, which is going to be by using the Power BI. So what is an advantage of learning the Power BI from my side is, if you learn from my side, if you learn from me, the advantage is I know each and every kind of an reporting. So as a data analyst or a data scientist, so I know what is an importance of the reports. So what type of reports that are going to be required? Why do you require? How do you explain that? Mostly report developers will be there. What is the main purpose of report developers is, generally the report developers are going to be generates the reports as the business users asks. So the business users give the requirement. So whatever the business leaders or what is going to be the business experts will be there. So those business people is going to ask for the reports. So as a report developer, the report developer knows how to develop a report. But how to interpret that particular report, why I'm using the report, generally the report developers does not knows about that. But as a data analyst or a data scientist, I know which type of reports are going to be used for what purpose we are going to be using. So I can clearly explain more detail about like what is an importance of this particular the data, the reports, whatever we are going to be using. So, okay, anyhow, so I'm going to explain you all that kind of a data visualization expert by using the Power BI. Along with that, I'm also going to be using some part of Python and R also I'm going to be using. So why you are going to be using the Python and R also? As part of the Power BI, we can also write the Python scripts and R scripts, we can write it actually, guys. Generally, normal, when you talk about a Power BI expert, so he may not be aware about the Python and R, but being I was a data analyst, I was a data science expert. So even I can integrate the Python and R also with your Power BI. At the end, I'll show you like just a Power BI environment, how to do that, how the variants we can do that. But you can also get a little bit more and more expertise actually, guys. It's not only reporting, it's not only a data visualization expertise. So why I'm using, and more than that, how we have to use the reports. Even I can explain you, like I can give you some knowledge of like how the Python libraries are going to be gets used, how the R libraries also. I can just give you an idea about how we are going to be using the Python and R libraries for data visualizations. Okay, so we all of you know that Power BI is going to be nothing but it is a data visualization tool. It isn't a data visualization software actually, guys, a data visualization tool or software, what we can say that. First of all, what is data visualization? All of you have an idea about this. Nowadays, data visualization has been became a very, very important aspect. So everywhere, data visualization. So you know what is a data visualization actually, guys? A data visualization is a skill. It is a one of the skill actually, guys, which is basically we are going to require to convert all our textual data. So whatever the data that is going to be there in a textual format, we are going to be gets converting into a visual context. it is going to be gets converted into a visual context. We are going to be using it actually, guys. We'll convert into visual context. What is visual context? Seeing your data in a visual format, we are going to see it actually, guys. So why should I convert? Why should I convert the data from which is going to be a text-based values? Text-based values means we know that no, like in a CSV file, we have some kind of a values are going to be there. The text-based values we are going to be gets converting into a kind of a visual context. We are going to be gets converting it actually, guys. We are converting into a visual context. We are going to be gets converting here now. So due to that, what is an advantage? We know that normally when you see the data, normally we cannot identify the patterns. So the simple definition of data visualization is, guys, converting the data, the effort which we are going to be putting to convert the data into a visual format is going to be what we can call it as a data visualization. Once if you put the data into a data visual format, it is going to be some kind of a patterns. So normally, whenever we look at the data, we cannot identify the patterns actually. We cannot identify the right. So patterns, which is going to be correlations, trends. So these are all going to be gets undetected whenever we see the data in a, which is going to be a text-based values in a just like an Excel sheet or which may be a CSV file. If you see the data, we cannot identify it actually, guys. But whenever we put the data into visual, so what kind of patterns we have in the data, what kind of a correlations we have them. Correlations are nothing but the relation between that particular variables is what we are going to call it as a correlations actually, guys. Trends. Like we know that like whenever we talk about the price of the gold. So currently what trend is going on, whether it is in uptrend or whether it is going to be in the downtrend actually, guys. So we are going to be gets detecting those kind of correlations and patterns and trends. So actually it is not a programming language, guys. So explaining what is an importance of data visualization is very simple. So these data analysts, data experts, so there are going to be dive into the data to get some kind of an information. So converting all that particular data into a visual format, the data is going to be gets converted into a kind of an visual format is going to be what we are going to be what we are going to call it as a data visualizations. So nowadays data visualization, you can do it with the different tools actually, guys. As I told you, by using Python libraries also we can do it actually, guys. But in Python libraries, we are going to be writing some kind of an scriptings. We are going to write it actually, guys. Some kind of a scriptings. It's not a programming language. Some kind of a scripts. I'll just show you today. I'll just show you like one small report how I am developing by using Python library and by using the which is going to be a Power BI tool. How to develop it, I'll tell you actually. Simple application. I'll show you that. So it is going to be scripting based. Whereas this Power BI or a Tableau or which is going to be a click view, these are going to be completely, there are going to be a GUI based tools actually, guys. That means no need to write any script from your side. Everything is going to be nothing but it's a drag and drop. So Power BI is a data visualization tool, which is going to be where we can develop the business reports or any reports, data reports. By using a simple drag and drop option, we can develop it. So due to that, what is the basic idea here is even by using Python also, we can do it actually, guys. But it is going to be a more, which is going to be more easily we can develop. So in a short period, we can develop it without writing any program or without writing any particular scripts, we can do it actually, guys. So really to learn the Power BI or to learn a data visualization, we really don't require any expertise. We don't really require any knowledge of any programming language because it is a simple GUI based tools. Just if you have an idea about what is data and how to understand the data, that is going to be sufficient actually. You can easily generate a report. Anybody, whatever it may be your qualification, whatever may be your experience, whether you have an idea about programming or without having any programming language. So learning Power BI is going to be just like how we are going to work with Excel sheets. It looks like how we are going to be working with Excel sheets only. That much easily we can work with. Yeah, just a second, guys. Somebody, I think they are drawing something. So please avoid them, guys. Please don't draw anything on the screens, right? Right. Fine. So to learn the Power BI, you don't really require any knowledge about anything. We don't require it actually, guys. But if you have a little bit idea about a relational databases, if you have an idea about a relational databases, that is going to be an added advantage. That is going to be an added advantage for the Power BI. Why? Because in Power BI, we are going to be gets works with something like relation between the tables. So don't worry, guys. If you have the idea, well and good. Even if you don't have the idea, I am going to discuss all these things in our coming classes. So which is going to be a primary key and a foreign key actually, guys. So one more advantage is even I was also an expert in the database. So even as of now, also recently, I taken a data engineering training program at Deloitte. So for the fresh graduates who has been got recruited into the Deloitte. So recently I have been taken a training program specifically on the data engineering concepts. In that we have SQL is there, Python is there, big data systems, and we have the Hadoop and Hive and all these things. Plus even there is going to be Spark is also there along with the Power BI also. So totally five different skills, SQL, which is a Python. And apart from that, it is going to be Power BI, and which is going to be big data systems. And as part of big data systems, I have been working with Hive, and which is a Spark. These are some of the training programs what I have been got given. So even that is also my expertise. So database also I can just explain you. So almost all 18 years of experience I worked with this database system. So primary keys and foreign keys is a little bit important for us. If you understand them, so designing, it's a part of a designing of our Power BI. So as part of the data modeling, we require these primary keys and foreign keys. So generally, somebody will teach us, everybody's teaching, but somebody I have seen who is a part of a Power BI, they are directly giving what is primary key and foreign key. But in our class, 1 week, so it is going to be for 1 week. I am also going to work with relational database systems. First, I'll start with relational database, specifically with SQL Server database, guys. All of you guys has to install the SQL Server software. So I'll tell you how to download the SQL Server software. So please install it in your systems. And for 1 week, we are going to work with, which is going to be a SQL Server database, like creating of tables, creating of relation between the tables, not in depth about them, but at least some basic ideas like what are the requirements, what are the basic requirements you require. I'll explain all that particular, the primary keys and foreign keys. I'll explain that particular application, guys. Okay. So only that is the only prerequisites. Even if you do not have any idea also, I am going to take care about that as part of our course curriculum. We are going to be spending 1 week to 10 days specifically on the SQL Server database only. We'll work with them. And after that, we'll go to the Power BI applications. So Power BI learning is a very simple skill actually, guys. Previously, SSRS is also there, but the Power BI SSRS has been now, it was not upgraded, but it is nothing but a Power BI is nothing but it is a new version or an upgraded version of the SSRS, what I can say that. It is not an updated, it is not just upgraded, but it is an upgraded version of the SSRS actually. So SSRS is an old one actually, guys, which is going to be 10 years back it was there. The only limitations of SSRS and Power BI is previously your SSRS applications can import the data only from 3 to 4 different type of sources only. But now the Power BI can import the data from almost all 100 plus number of data sources. They can read the data from different sources. Even that also I'm going to show you guys. How to import the data from a cloud storages, maybe an Azure, or maybe something like a Microsoft Azure, or it may be something like an Amazon Web Services, or it may be a Google Cloud. I'm going to be using one of the cloud services to import the data into the Power BI actually. And I told we all completely works with. I've seen guys, I've seen the people learning Power BI. So they are learning something like employees data, customers data, departments data. That means mostly they are going to work with, which is going to be with a sample data only. There are going to be works, employees, departments, customers. But as what is my advantage? What is the advantage from my side is being I was a data scientist. I know how to import the data, how to get the data sets actually. So I'm going to be having a lot of data sets with us. So generally, these are all our data science data sets actually, guys. So which we are going to be gets working with a different data sets we are going to be working. They are not sample databases, guys. There are not sample kind of a data sets actually. Yeah, Chandu, I'll tell you. What is the market demand for that tool? Yes, absolutely. I'll tell you. I'll tell you. Okay. So see guys, just you have to attend maybe some around 2 days or 3 days of demo sessions will be there. So in the first session only, I cannot completely discuss about that, but slowly I'll explain all those particular things. If the end of the session also, I'll give a 10-15 minutes of time for your questions. Then I will discuss about that. Okay. So have a look at this. So we are going to be completely works with some kind of a real data sets we are going to work. Like which is going to be some kind of an, can you see guys? These are all some kind of a companies which is going to be stock prices actually. So this is going to be the stock price of various companies at different dates, how the stock price of a particular companies, which is going to be, this is the data related to Bharti Airtel. It's an Airtel data set actually, guys. Starting from 2002, if we can see, these are all real data sets actually, guys. Up to the 34 2021, we have this data actually. So maybe it's an old data set, the 2021 itself. 2021 is not an old data set actually, guys. So the data set, what we are going to be having it actually. So not only that, whatever the data sets we are going to be, why? Because as a data scientist or a data analyst, I know completely about how to import the data sets. Generally in Power BI classes, they will share some few data sets and they'll ask you to work with the data sets. But here we are going to be completely works with a different data sets to understand how the data will come in the real time, how to handle them. So everything I'm going to be using with a sample data sets, I'm going to be working with that. Okay, not just with an employee's data or not with just a customer's data. We don't work with them actually, right? Fine. So this is going to be about something about the Power BI. So I'm just telling about that, like how we are going to be gets learning the things actually. So using some different, we already learned, that means in our school days only, we have something data visualizations like scatter plot, line plots, histograms. Okay, what is going to be the bar plots? Generally, we all of you have an idea about that. Pie charts, all these are, we have an idea. So basically we worked with the small data only, but here we are going to really work with, which is going to be a very larger data sets. We are going to be gets working with that. So just to get some idea, that means I'm not going to discuss any particular application, but just an idea I'm going to be telling about that. So how the data visualization has been became that much easy from the last, you can say, decade of time. Data visualization has been became a very simple find, guys. Don't worry about them, guys. Don't worry about them. Just it is just an idea. So I'm not saying that this is, I don't want to show my expert. As my main concept is nothing but I don't want to show any expert on my expert on the Python. Just I'm telling that how simple. So many people think that. So many people ask me. So like, sir, why don't you learn a tool, or why don't you learn a which is going to be a software tool which is used for data visualizations? But as of my knowledge, I say that if you learn this particular scripting base, we'll have a complete control on the complete control on the data visualizations. I'll just show you, you identify whether it is by using the scripting languages, is it easy, or whether it is going to be by using, which is going to be a GUI based, it is going to be easy actually, guys. I'll just show you one small example for that. Don't worry about that. Okay, so this is going to be a Python Jupyter notebook actually. So don't worry about it. I just want to show you, like I'll also show you like what type of reports I created also. Okay, so don't worry about that. It's a small scripting only, guys. So I'm going to be writing, which is going to be just, it is a pandas. And generally for Python, whenever we want to perform some kind of a visualization, we are going to be using, which is going to be a matplotlib. It is going to be matplotlib libraries, guys. So don't think that I'm writing some scripting and all these things, so I'm not writing it. These are some kind of an importing of libraries. Just I want to show you like how scripting languages reporting data visualization works and how the GUI based data visualizations are going to be gets working. I imported, nowadays even Python is also becoming a common language, guys. Everybody, whether you are a programmer or a non-programmer, whether you are a mathematician, or whether you are a statistician or even a data visualization expert also. Really, if you learn Python, that is a lot of added advantages. Why? Because so many applications we can do very easily in Python without having any much programmatical scripts. So don't worry. Just see guys how I'm going to be importing a data actually. Don't worry guys. Just it is only just to show you how I'm going to be doing it actually guys. Just a small example actually guys. I'm importing a data from a data set called as a file called as an usercars.csv file. So let us go to the cars data set. This is a very simple data guys, which is going to be a cars data set, which is containing 150 rows, and there are going to be 6 columns of data is there. The cars data, that's a user cars data actually. What is the year of manufacturing? Which model it is going to belongs to? What is the price of the car? What is the mileage? What is the color? And what is the transmission? If observe carefully, there is a price and there is a mileage. Normally, when you see the data, 150 values, you cannot understand how the price and mileage is related. So is there any relation between price and the mileage? So just have a look at this, how simple I'm going to be showing you. You can observe carefully, guys. It's very, very simple. Don't think that we have to write a lengthy scripts and programs, we have to write it. I am plotting a scatter plot. X is equivalent to price. Y is equal to nothing but mileage. Your data is equal to nothing but it's a cars data set, plt.show. This is how we are going to be doing a data visualization by using the Python libraries. We do it actually, guys. So if you observe carefully on the y-axis, it is going to be the mileage. That means mileage is how many kilometers it has been used. Whereas whenever we are talking about this is going to be something like what we can see, the price of the cars. You can find some relationship actually, guys. There is some kind of a relationship is there. As the mileage is increasing, the price is going to be decreasing. You can, it's nothing but what we call it as a negative, which is going to be a negative correlation. It is going to be. You know what is meaning of positive correlation? As X variable increases, Y variable also increases. Or if X decreases, Y decreases. It is what we call it as a positive correlation. But here, as the mileage is increasing, the price is decreasing. So a car which was used for 20,000 miles, the cost is going to be around 12,500 to 15,000. But a car which was used for 1 lakh kilometers or miles, the cost is going to be somewhere around 6,000 to 7,000. It was there. It's a kind of a negative correlation, what we can call it as. Normally, when you see the data like that, we can't recognize a pattern. We can't recognize a pattern. So see guys, I didn't return any much script. Just 2 libraries I imported. I read the data and I just plotted the data actually, guys. Now the same example I'll show you by using Power BI. So this is going to be my Power BI desktop software actually, guys. I'll tell you later how to install the software. Don't worry. As of now, I am not installing anything. So let me open. Generally, Power BI software will take a little bit time to open it actually, guys. It will take a little bit time to open. Let me open it. The same, it's a process is the same process, guys. I'm not going to do any different process in Power BI. Process is the same, but only the thing is without writing any script, we are going to do it actually. We don't write any script for that. Everything is going to be done by GUI based, drag and drop. Okay. Or something like a right click, click on the option, or from the file menu doing some kind of an option. That is the way what we are going to be doing it actually. This is Microsoft in the Power BI software actually, guys. So first 1 week we'll work on the SQL Server database. After that, I'll start with the Power BI software. We don't want to spend much time on that, but the guys who are already having the idea, who do not have the idea, to explain them. Really, if you don't have the idea about a relational database systems, guys, once you go to the Power BI, you can generate the reports, but mainly why we have to create the relation between them. So that concept, if you are unaware about that, you can't generate the reports. That is the reason why we have to know about what is relations, how to relate, correlate that particular tables, what is primary key, what is foreign key. I'll explain for a 1 week of time. I'll explain it actually, guys. So just a second, as I told you, it will take some time actually, guys, to open the Power BI software. Just a second, it is opening. So once if you learn a data visualization concept, whether you learn by Python, whether you learn by R, whether you learn by the Power BI, or whether you learn by some other thing, the concept is going to be the same concept, guys. Conceptually, there is no changes. Terminologies are going to be the same scatter plot, x-axis, y-axis, everything is going to be the same only. Only the thing is, without writing any scripting, we are going to be doing this actually, guys. The only thing we are going to be doing is, we don't write any scripts. See, guys, I opened the Jupyter notebook and written the script. How simple I written the script, how fast it is executed. So this is a Power BI software. To open this only, it's taking a little bit time. Maybe in the last previously, when I closed this, I didn't save it properly or something like that. Then it is going to be, takes a little bit time. Otherwise, it won't take that much time actually. Right. So have a look at this. This is going to be my Power BI, which is going to be the desktop software actually, guys. This is how it is going to looks like. Completely GUI based, guys. Completely, it is a GUI based. It's going to be completely, it is going to be a GUI based applications. See, simple drag, drop, everything is going to be same. See, guys, first I have to import the data. So we can see the option, get the data from where. So these are going to be some of the sources where we have been imported the data. So data has to come now, guys. You have to get some data for somewhere, whether it is a CSV file, whether it is an Excel sheet, or whether it is a JSON file. Even we have a JSON files also will be there. JSON files, XML files, or we have a SAS files, or it can be anything, we can get it actually, guys. So these are some of the common data sources. If you go for more, you will get more and more options actually. Right now, I'm reading the data from a text or a CSV file, guys. Same file I'm importing, guys. From where imported actually here, guys? I imported the data from the D drive. So I'm selecting the same option, go to the D drive, go to the same data folder. I have used cars.csv file. That's it actually, guys. Procedure is the same, but I'm not importing any data. I'm not writing any script, guys. That is the only thing what we can say it actually. This is going to be the one what we can say that. So in the coming classes, I'll tell you guys what are the components of Power BI, what are the main important. Nothing important is there actually, guys. Everything is easy. Only thing is there is something called as an DAX is available. Only that particular DAX is going to be the most important. Remaining things, everybody can perform it actually, guys. Can you see? It is showing the user cars.csv file. Just simply, I'm going to be loading the data actually, guys. That's it. I'm loading the data actually, guys. So data is going to be gets loaded. You have to just know what are these menu options, what this insert contains, what is this modeling contains, what is this view contains, what is a Power Query. Okay, so Power Query is where the data modeling we are going to do it. So here we have a report, we have a data, we have a model. What is this visualization? What are these filters? What are going to be the fields? It's loading the data, guys. It's loading, no worry. So what are these particular fields? Only thing is that is what we have to understand it. Beyond that, nothing is going to be there actually. So just it is loading the data, working on it. Just see, guys, even we say GUI based, it is very easy to understand it actually. It is very easy to use, but we have to import the data. We are using some menu option. So it is depending on some kind of an option actually, guys. So actually it came as an user cars. I am going to be renaming into, which is going to be cars dataset. It's a GUI based application, guys. That's it. Apart from nothing is going to be there. Now, can you see, guys? There is something called as an scatter chart. Select the scatter chart actually, guys. Scatter chart. That's it. We are going to be getting the chart like this actually, guys. See how simple it is going to be. I told you know what is on x-axis, what is on y-axis, guys. It's a simple drag and drop options actually, guys. What is x-axis and what is going to be on the y-axis? Don't worry, I'll tell you later. Don't worry about that. So do not summarize the data actually, guys. That's it. So whatever the plot we have got earlier there, this plot and this plot is exactly the same only, guys. No difference at all. No difference at all. But I didn't use any keyboard here now. I didn't use any keyboard, guys. I got the same plot as it is. I can get it actually. But more and more user friendly. More and more user friendly, where we can do without having any much applications, we can do it actually. So let us say this, guys, this data is having a different models of cars. like SE model, SEL model, SES models. We have a different models. Now let us say that I want to visualize the SE model in a different color, SEL model in a different color, SES model in a different color. So how do you do it actually, guys? Very simple. There is something called as a legend. See, I'm not doing anything actually, guys. Just drag and drop. That's it. So all the blue color data points are SE models. The SEL models are going to be the violet color, and the red color or the pink color, we can see the SES models, what we can see it actually. It's a scatter plot. It's a simple scatter plot actually, guys. Same plot I have done here by using some kind of a scripting I have been written. I didn't written any 10 lines of code, 20 lines of code. A simple 1 or 2 lines of code. But this is within our control actually. This is within our control. I can change, like I can change a different styles. See guys, marker is equal to, for example, if I say star, so all that particular is going to be comes like a stars. Instead of circles, we'll get a stars. How do you do this? This also we can do it actually, guys. Very simple concept actually. This is going to be what is going to be your marker. See, terminologies are the same, guys. That's why I said that, which is going to be terminologies are the same. X-axis, Y-axis, and what is going to be the marker actually. See, I want a particular shape, I require it actually. Which shape you want to use it actually. We can customize that particular shapes actually, guys. You can customize your shapes, whatever the shapes we have to require it. But problem here is whatever the options they have been given, only with that options only we have to work. But whenever it customization, we can do as many we can do it. It's not that you have to use only these options only we have to use it actually. You can use with whatever the options you want to use, you can use it. So see, for SE models, I'm going to be using a plus. For SEL model, I can use something like n, which is going to be a triangle like this. So each and every model can be represented with a different styles. We can do it actually. Same thing, I can also do it here. Only thing is, it is completely by GUI based. Here it is completely by using the scripting base. We have to write it actually. I can do that. That also we can do it actually, guys. But it requires a 2 to 3 lines of code is required. So what I just want to tell you here is data visualization is a skill. Whether it is a Power BI, whether it is a Tableau, whether it is a some other ClickView or a ClickSense, or whether it is a Python, whether it is an R, does not matter. Terminologies are the same actually, guys. So you can see markers are there. Legend is there. X-axis, Y-axis is going to be there. What colors we want to customize, what shape you want to customize. All these are going to be something like this actually, guys. So we'll see all these particular application. Everything is going to be customizable, guys. So what is going to be the whatever the colors you require, whatever the background you have to require, all these things we can customize it. So we have multiple options are there. We can just set out all that particular effects, some titles, some kind of a properties. General properties will be there. What is the height of the plot? What is going to be the width of the plot? At which positions you want to plot it? What title you require? See, there is going to be a title is coming, model, price, and a mileage. So you want to customize it. So whatever you want to customize, you can customize it. Do you don't want the title? No title is going to be there. There is no title is going to be there. Do you want to get the title? On and off button. That's it actually, guys. What is going to be X-axis? Your X-axis title is coming like a mileage. Y-axis title is coming like a price. Its concept is they are called as an X label and Y labels, what we are going to call it as. So don't worry. I'm just telling the terminologies only, guys. I'm telling only about the terminologies only. I'm going to be telling it actually. So what is going to be the title you require it actually, guys? So title is going to be whatever the title of the X-axis you require. What about the title of the Y-axis you require? So you can have all that particular options. We can do it actually, guys. So we have some options are going to be there. So what options we want to give, what title you want to give, all these things, what we can see. I'll tell you, like what is going to be grid lines. Grid lines are going to be, actually we can't see it, guys. It is due to some kind of an visualization, but you can see carefully. If you see, there are going to be some kind of a grid lines are coming. There are going to be some kind of an grid lines are going to be gets coming actually, guys. So do you want a horizontal grid lines, vertical grid lines? What type of this one you require? I want solid colors. What kind of a colors you require? I want a black colors you require. These are all simple techniques actually, guys. These are the vertical lines. Previously, there are going to be dotted lines. That's why reason you can't see them. Color is going to be white color is coming. Being the background is a white color and even the lines are also white color, you are unable to see them. But now you can see what colors you want to require. See guys how simple it is going to be. It is going to be a simple way to visualize this particular one. Same thing here also we can do it actually guys. Do you want to have a grid lines? You can say PLT dot, which is going to be something called as n. We'll simply say what is going to be grid actually guys. So we are going to get a grid lines, we are going to get it. Here everything is going to be done by the scripting only guys. What is going to be X label? What is the label for X axis? Which is going to be nothing but it's a price. What is going to be PLT dot, which is going to be Y label, which is going to be mileage. What is going to be PLT dot title, which is going to be nothing but I say that it is a scatter plot. Done. Done. This is going to be how we are going to be getting it actually. This is your title. This is your X label. This is your Y label. These are your grid lines. These are going to be your whatever the markers and all these things it is going to be done. So for that, you really don't require much programmatical skills, but terminologies are going to be the most important. So only thing is the terminology. So vertical lines are coming, horizontal lines. Horizontal lines, I made it off. Now I make it true actually. That's it. So whatever the functionalities we are performing here, all those functionalities we are, sorry, all these functionalities we are going to be doing in a very easy way, simply without writing any coding, we are going to be developing this. So I can explain like what type of visualizations, why do you require scatter plot? Why do you require a line plot? What are bar charts? What are stacked bar charts? What is going to be 100% stacked bar charts? Okay, each and everything actually guys, pie charts are going to be there. Can you see guys? There is, and I told you know, it is also going to be helpful. R script is required. This is Python visual. It's a Python script actually guys. It is a Python visual. We can write this. We can write the code actually guys. Can you see the code? The following code to create a data frame and remove the duplicate rows is always executed. Data set equals to pandas dot data frame. Data set is equal to whatever the code you want to write. You can write the code. Whatever the code you write, the Python code you written, that code is going to be visual there. It's going to be visual. It is going to be gets converted there. So if you have that skill, that is also going to be an advantage. You can do a lot of scriptings. We can do it actually, guys. Don't think that only these are the plots. We are having so many different types of plots. We have it actually, guys. We can import so many different types of. Not only these visualizations actually, guys. You have an option called as and get more visuals. We can import some hundreds and hundreds of visuals you can import, guys. So all these plots are not going to be required, but according to your business needs, we can import all these particular data sets actually. See guys, how many are there actually? So hundreds of data visualizations we have it actually, but all of them we can't learn it. But some of the important I'm going to show you, like what is going to be this one actually, guys. Box plots. The people who having idea about that box plots, we are going to require word clouds. This word clouds we are going to plot it only by using some scriptings. We can do it actually, guys. This is going to be the word clouds, timeline slicers. It is going to be according to your requirement. We can add up a lot of other things what we are going to be doing it actually. So not all of them, but some of the plots. It is going to be histograms. What we can see that some of them I'm going to show you that particular applications what we can do. Not all of them, guys, but some of that we are going to be using. Heat maps I'm going to be using. Generally, normal people does not knows about what is heat maps. But as a data visualization expert or a data business analyst or a data analyst, we know what is, I know what is going to be heat maps are used for. Like that actually, guys. So because being I was more into the data visualization, I know like what type of reports. I'm not saying that somebody asks the reports, I'll just only give the reports. I know that means for myself only, I generate the reports. So what kind of reports I need and how to generate the reports also we require it actually. Normal report developers, they know how to develop the reports, but for what purpose they use is generally report developers does not know, because that will be shared with business users or the business analyst or whoever it may be, shared with some other people. Those will understand the reports. But for me, I know what type of reports I require. I know how to generate the particular reports. So this is going to be just a small introduction part to the data, the Power BI tool, guys. So just to get an idea, I've shown you like how we are going to be gets developing this kind of a reports, what we can do it actually. See guys, how simple it is going to be. So do you require any programming language? Not required. We don't require any programming language. But as I said that for as part of some modeling, we have to require some concepts of what we can say that some concepts of primary keys and foreign key. Some kinds of primary keys and foreign key relations are going to be required. So that is what we are going to be explaining. Apart from that remaining things, only just studying this menu options, guys. Like in the insert option, what are these? In modeling option, what are these? In view option, what are these? Okay. And apart from that, mainly we are going to work with something what we are going to call it as the Power Query tool. We are going to be working with that. Don't worry, I'll tell you. So what is this Power Query actually, guys? So you can see this is a Power Query editor is going to be there, where we can do some kind of an data manipulations, all these things. Looks like just like an Excel sheets. Anything you want to do, just like an looks like an Excel sheet, we can do that. Make the required changes, whatever you want, and just simply apply. This will be affected on your actual report. That's it. So only just a few tools are there, guys. It's like Power Apps is there, and this is going to be Power BI desktop, and we have a Power Query what is going to be there. And these are going to be some of the techniques what we have to require, guys. And the DAX language is going to be gets required actually. Okay, so that's it for the today's class, guys. So just to make you get some information, every day you will be having 1 hour to 1 hour 15 minutes class, guys. 6 p.m. to which is hardly 7 or 7:15 p.m. You will be having the class. It will be having just 1 hour to 1 hour 15 minutes will be there, and everything, guys. As I told you, so most of the people will teach you the data like this actually, guys. You can enter the data here only. If you want the data, you can enter the data here only, guys. Maximum, I don't enter the data. I always use a different sources, because I know about the importance of the data. I know how the data will come. So from which different sources it is going to be. We are going to use almost all different types of sources. We'll see it actually, guys. So once if you say get data and go to the more, you will be getting all the list of the concepts or all the list of the sources from where the Power BI can extract the data. So not only from these systems, from different systems, it can import the data set actually, guys. Okay. So that is going to be what I can say about that. So that's it for the today's class, guys. Just today and tomorrow, just a small introduction part only. I don't want to go into in depth about that. In coming classes, we'll discuss about more into the application, guys. Okay. So see, guys, these are going to be all the different types of sources. So if you can see, there are going to be different types of Azure platforms are there. We are having a different types of Azure platforms are going to be there, like Azure SQL database, or which is going to be Azure Blob Storage, or which is going to be Azure HD Insight Spark, or even if you want, you can get it from Azure Databricks. Because I was into the data engineering concepts, I was having an idea about this. Even database systems, see how many databases are there? SQL Server database, Access database, Oracle database, even SQL Server analysis services, MySQL database, Sybase, or Impala. So it is going to be Impala database. So many databases are there. All of them are not possible, but I'll try to utilize maximum number of sources. We'll try to import it actually, guys. Okay. So that is going to be all about the today's discussion, guys. Just for today, we'll stop it for the today from my side, guys. So just a 5-10 minutes. If you have any questions, I can just take up some questions and I can just answer your questions, guys. Okay. So anyone, guys, if you have any questions, you can unmute yourself and you can speak, guys. Yes, guys, I think somebody previously has been asking some questions. If you have any questions, feel free to discuss, guys. You can just unmute yourself and you can speak.
Hello, sir.
Yes, yeah, Sohan, right?
Sir, there are lot many tools like Tableau and this one. Is it futures wise is same or the how it is? If
It's going to be same only, guys, but only the thing is, compare with the other reporting tools, Power BI is going to be nothing but it is going to be like a low cost. It's not going to be that much cost like your Tableau or some other tool. So even if you want to learn Tableau also, you will be getting only some kind of a trial edition is going to be gets coming. Power BI is not like that. There is going to be free is there as well as professionals are also there. So we can use compare with the other one. It is going to be less price compare with the other softwares, and as well as integrates with many of the sources actually. So that is the reason why most of the companies are going to be using Power BI. But equal opportunities will be there. But compare with the other tools, Power BI is going to be mostly it is going to be gets used actually.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Yeah, guys. Anyone, guys? Any other
Sir,
questions? Yes,
last
Sohan.
question.
Yeah, Sohan. Go ahead.
Sir, these days,
Mm.
not many videos are there about this. What special in this class you are training going to help if you join here?
So I told you no. So my specialization, my specialization is what is my what is an advantage is simple. I know because I was into the data analyst, data science and analyst. So I know what kind of a reports, why there are going to be gets used. So I know what type of report that are required and how to develop it. So the advantage is normally I have seen some Power BI videos and etc. They will tell you like this plot is how to generate this plot. But why that particular plot is going to be required? Why do you require that? Mostly they will teach you only the plots which are going to be available here. Whatever that is inbuilt here, only they will explain you. But I am going to explain about the importance of that particular, what is stacked, what is going to be 100% stacked bar chart. Why do you require? What is the importance of that? How it will visualize? That is what I am going to be explaining, because I not only know how to generate a report, I know what type of reports are required for the business people. So I know what is the requirement. I know how to prepare that particular, whatever the reports is there. So that is an advantage. Yes, what kind of job opportunities? It is going to be just straightforward. It is going to be data visualization expert. Yes, Pushpalata, right? Pushpalata, right. So it is going to be
Yes,
what kind of reports? It's a report developer, what we are going to call it as a Power BI developer. Your role is going to be Power BI developer. But one advantage is once if you join in my course, my concentration is not only on the Power BI guys. So I'm going to make you a data visualization expert. Whether you are using Power BI, or whether you're using Tableau, whether you're using R, whether you're using Python does not matter. Because I'm going to be using all the skill sets that is going to be required for data visualizations. Okay, fine. Not data. It's a data analyst is not going to be included in this course. So data analyst, I was going to be doing in our data in my data science classes. I'm going to be doing that. Data analyst means analyzing the data. Here to the data analyst, whatever the reports that is required, I'm going to be generating that kind of a reports it is going to be. Fine. Right. Yes. Any more questions, guys? I think somebody has asked a question. Chendu, right? I think Chendu, just a second. Chendu, are you there? Yeah. Sir, what is the market demand for this tool and package? Absolutely. See, I don't say that it is going to be a huge demand is going to be there actually, guys. I'm not saying that it is a huge demand, but it is going to be, it is in demand actually. Demand means obviously nowadays, everywhere there is going to be a report developer. It is going to be a data visualization expert is required. Almost all in every field, without having a data visualization expert, they're unable to perform this actually, guys. I'll show you some reports, just a report. Otherwise, okay, I'll show in the next session, guys, because time is already 7-8. So obviously we have a lot of requirements are there. So a lot of requirements means I'm not saying that it's a huge demand it is going to be, but we are having a lot of requirements are there, because almost all in any field, without having a data visualization expert, they cannot double. Everywhere reporting is required actually, guys. You know that simply if I give the raw data, the business users can't understand it. So everywhere in every kind of a business, there is going to be some kind of a visualization experts are required. So depending on your expertise, depending on your experience, there will be changes actually, whether you are working at a junior level, senior level, or a higher level, architect level. If you go to a little bit higher experience, we'll go for a Power BI architect. It is going to be there, like the data modeling and architecture. That is going to be like little bit higher level. But when you go to the developer level, it is going to be like how to generate the reports, how to pull the data, how to model the data. All these are going to be your expertise actually. Okay, fine. Any more questions, guys?
Hello.
Yes, yes. Yeah. I've been,
Sir,
yeah.
I'm working as a QA.
Okay.
So I want to switch my profile to business analyst. So, Miss,
Okay.
will it be helpful or not?
Yeah, everybody see, even if you want to, I told you know, even if you want to learn business analyst also, or even if you want to learn a data engineering also, do you want to learn a data science? or do you want to learn machine learning? Do you want to learn something like a deep learning or AI, whatever you want to learn, data visualization is a common, what is going to be one of the common skill which everybody requires. So even if you want to go for a data analyst also, compulsory a data visualization tool is going to be required. Okay. So even I was, because I was also teaches the data analyst. But generally what I will do is, generally in our data analyst class, we are going to teach everything by using Python only. Everything by using Python or R we do it actually. But nowadays the companies are using some kind of, they're asking to use some tools rather than using some kind of a scripting languages. That is the reason why nowadays everybody is learning the Power BI. Okay.
Got it, sir. Thank you, sir.
Right. Okay. So any more questions, guys? Yes, Sohan?
Last question from
Yeah,
me.
yeah, Sohan. Yeah.
Sir, package is how it is, sir. Experience people like
It depends on your
friends. I understand.
it depends on
Only
your
with
experience.
only with the skill, like 5 years or 10 years. Is it good?
Because see, 5 years and 10 years means what will happen here is, that means they're expecting something at an architectural level, like a designer level. So like there we call it as a Power BI architect, what we are going to call it as. So Power BI architect roles are going to be a little bit higher level. So if you want to go for the higher level, if you have a more experience, if you have it, go to the architectural level. So go for an architect, like designing of models, creating of that particular Power BI models. So if you concentrate on that, you will be having a good opportunities on that. If you have a less experience, then go to a developer actually.
You will cover the topic.
Yeah, the topic. But for that, you require more and more knowledge on SQL, more and more knowledge on relationships. That is going to be required if you want to go for an architect level. Okay. Yes, it's not like a package, depends on the company, but there are going to be, I have seen that, which is going to be, see, even the freshers are also getting recruited into data science related projects. So even in data science also, there are recruiting the people, there are assigning the jobs like data visualization experts. So it is almost as a beginner, just like others, it's not going to be like an high level paid jobs, but we have a good number of opportunities we have it actually. So I can't say that like exactly how much it is going to be, but as a fresher, generally it is going to be minimum. You can expect that depending on the companies, something around 4 lakhs to 5 lakhs you can expect as a fresher. I'm talking about. At least if we have somewhere around 2 years of experience, you can expect something around 6 to 8 lakhs. So depending on your experience only, it is going to be there. But nowadays, almost all any skill, whatever may be the skill, whatever may be the softwares. So minimum there are going to be paying around 4 to 5 lakhs they are paying actually. So as a fresher, generally 4 to 5 lakhs is going to be the package. If it is like a small companies, minimum they are paying somewhere around 3 lakhs, 4 lakhs. As a fresher, they are paying it actually. Right?
So duration of course?
45 days.
Okay.
Right, guys. Any more questions, guys? Right. So thank you all of you guys. So just tomorrow also we'll take a kind of a discussions, just a small discussions like maybe tomorrow I'll just show you like what components we are going to learn and all these things we are going to learn it. So I think all of you know it, guys, you are going to be getting okay. I think you will be getting all the recorded videos, guys. So day-to-day recording videos will come along with that, all the materials. It is hands-on actually, guys, completely hands-on. Every class is going to be hands-on only, not like it's a day-to-day recording videos. I'm saying that after completion of the class. Okay, so day-to-day recordings will come after the completion of the class. If anytime if you miss a class, you can just go through the recording videos and you can attend the next sessions immediately without having any doubts or anything. You need not to miss any classes actually. You can immediately, and even I'll tell you like what topics we are going to be learning, how our class journey will be there. All these things I'm going to give you an idea in the tomorrow's class. So 1 or 2 classes if you attend as a demo. So from maximum by Monday onwards, I'm going to start with the regular classes, initially with SQL Server, and then I'll start with the Power BI concepts, guys. Okay. So that's it for the today's class, guys. So anyone, guys, any more questions if you have? Right. I think everybody's fine with this, my discussion. Hope all of you have been enjoyed the class. I think you got some idea about like what is data visualization. So we'll continue tomorrow, guys. Same time, same link. Okay. See you tomorrow, guys, and have a nice day. Thank you all of you guys. Yes, thank you all of you guys. Right, guys, I'm ending the session, guys. So thank you once again. So see you tomorrow at the same time with the same link, guys. Thank you all of you. Hi, good evening, all of you guys. Hope all of you can hear me.
Yes, sir.
Right, guys? Yeah, yeah. Is the audible, guys? Is the voice is clear, or are you getting any noise or any disturbance? Is it clear?
No, sir, all clear.
All clear? Right, right, guys. Just a second, guys. Just give me a second. Just give me a second, guys. Yeah, right, guys. Yeah. So, guys, hope all of you have been attended the yesterday's demo session. I think I can see some new guys are there. Some things who has been joined newly. Can I please let me know, guys, if anybody has been joined for the today's class? I think Sonal yesterday joined, Pushpalata yesterday joined. I think anybody is there who has been joined for the today's class. If today is your first class, please let me know. You can
Yes, sir.
use the chat panel. Right, right. Yeah, who is this? Pankaj,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Pankaj, you are first class. Okay, fine. Any others? Anil. Anil also, you are the first class, right? Any others? Yeah, okay. Yeah, Mohanty, you are first class. Nagma, okay. Taskin, Nagma, Taskin, right. So I can see some 4 or 5 guys who has been joined for the today's class. No worries about them. Why? Because just a second, guys. Right. Okay. So yesterday we have been just started with just a small introduction part, like what is data visualization? Why do you require a data visualization skill? So who exactly nowadays, why people are preferring to learn the data visualization skills basically? So everyone, so almost all everyone who is working into the data analyst or a data science, or even some kind of some kind of a data engineering people. Generally, data engineering people won't require, but mostly the data science, data analyst, and not only that, report developers. So these are all going to be required some kind of a data visualization skills actually. So we all of you know what is an importance of data visualization actually, guys. It's a very important role nowadays. So we are converting all our data, which is going to be there in a textual format. We are going to be gets converting into a visual context. Why? Because whenever we go for a visual, some kind of a patterns, trends, correlations, all these are can be detected only whenever we go for a data visualization. So visually, when you see the data, then only we can understand the patterns actually. So see the data in a visual format, not instead of writing just doing the data by using some kind of an value based or a text based. If you see, you have to read the data and we have to understand it. But instead of that one, if you go something like a visually, if you go there, so it is going to be very easy to understand the data. So interpretation of the data in a visual format. So which is going to be what a data visualization expert, data visualization skill it is going to be. So as I told you, like basically nowadays we have, that means whenever we want to develop some kind of a data visuals, basically we have two options are there. One is going to be, I told you, which is going to be some kind of a scripting based tools are going to be there, like scripting based by you writing some kind of a scripts and we can do that. And otherwise we are going to be having some kind of an edge UI based tools, what we are going to be having it actually. It's like an edge UI based actually, guys, completely drag and drop actually. Examples of scripting I told you, which is going to be by using some kind of an the languages like by using some kind of an Python, or you can use a language like an R, etc., etc. We can use it. So we have a Python different libraries. In R we have a different types of libraries. Okay, so using them we can develop some kind of an scriptings what we can develop. So don't think that scriptings means generally most of the people thinks that scripting means there is very small, there is a lot of limitations will be there. We have to write a lot of lines of code. All these are not required actually, guys. With a simple 1 or 2 lines of code only, we can do, we can perform we can perform a lot of data visualizations. I'll just show you a little bit more and more in the today's session also. I'll show you. Coming to the GUI based, what is going to be GUI based tools actually, guys? That means without writing any code, without writing any script. So even a person who do not know any programming language, simply by using a drag and drop options, we can develop this kind of the whatever this particular, the tools, the reports, what we can develop it actually. Like we are having the tools like which is going to be Power BI. If I talk about the history about them, we have to talk about the history of data visualizations. If I start from 2005 actually, guys. So because I have I used to work on that particular, even in 2005 also, I have been got worked with the reporting tools. So at that time we used to use, if I talk about the history actually, guys, there are so many reporting tools are there. So we are having a tool called as an Cognos. So they're a little bit in initial days, that means in 2005, if I remember, we used to use a tool called as an Cognos is the one of the reporting tool what we used to use it. It was developed by Cognos, a company called as an Cognos, but later it has been acquired by IBM. Now IBM is maintaining this Cognos software actually, guys. If you want, you can just go online and you can check it out. What is going to be the Cognos? It's one of the very oldest, very oldest tool actually, guys. So which is going to be a Cognos. So which is going to be one of the, what we can see is, it is a business intelligence tool. You can see that IBM, it has been Cognos Analytics. Reporting is a web-based reporting authoring tool that professional report authors and developers use to build some sophisticated and multiple page, multiple query reports against multiple databases. So this is a lot of history is there actually, guys. It's not started in the recent years. The history was started in around 2005. It was started actually. And we used to use some kind of a reports called as an business objects, BOs, which we used to call it as BOs. Now it has been acquired by SAP. Now it is a part of SAP BO actually. So these are very oldest reporting tools actually, guys. Okay, now they have been outdated. So if you want, you can see what is going to be the SAP BO, which is going to be what we can call it as the SAP, which is going to be the business objects, so business intelligence tool, what we used to call it as actually. You can see the business objects. So it is also going to be one of the tool, which is going to be, it has been acquired actually, guys. It was not developed. You can see that business objects was an enterprise software company specialized in business intelligence. Business objects was acquired in 2007 by the German company SAP. So the company claimed more than this one. It is also one of the reporting tools, what we can say that. A business intelligence is a centralized suite for data reporting, visualization, and sharing. I'll tell you about BI concepts also. Even I was experts in the BI concept also. Because Power BI, first of all, what is that BI only? We have to study it actually, guys. Yes, Power BI. What is that? Business intelligence. So why? What is basically the business intelligence? What exactly the business intelligence contains, and where this particular reporting is going to be fits into the business intelligence applications. I'll give an idea about that, like what is BI and all these things we have to. Why? Because in interview point of view, even they may ask you about some concepts of business intelligence. What is BI? What are facts? What are going to be dimension tables? What are fact tables? What are star schemas? What is snowflake schemas? So we have some part of business intelligence. So as a BI developer, not only just understanding what is how to generate the reports, how to build the reports, we also has to know some part of BI. Why? Because the name itself is saying that Power BI. It's a Power BI, which is going to be business. BI stands for business intelligence. Okay. So there are going to be so many tools are there actually, guys, like Power BI. We are having a Tableau. Okay. We are going to be having a Tableau, or we are having something like which is going to be a click view or a click sense. So these are going to be some of the GUI based reporting tools we are going to be having it actually, guys. It's a click. I think click. It's not QLCK. It is QLIK. Click. It's a click sense what we are going to call it as. So, but anyhow, I told you, reporting is a skill actually, guys. Reporting is not about like learning a tool or learning a language or something like that. It is one of the skill it is going to be. So what are the different types of the data visualization options we have? What are the different types of charts? What are the different types of visualization options we are going to be having? Why should I use them? Okay, what are aggregates? What are details? We have to understand it actually. So the only difference between scripting and GUI based. So many people think that scripting is nothing but we cannot develop a complicated, or we cannot develop any which is going to be user friendly reports actually. But using scriptings also, guys, we can develop some kind of an most complicated reports. We can do it actually. But only thing is the user should know a little bit. It's not a programmatical skills, but it is going to be some kind of an scripting skills are required actually, guys. We have to write some kind of an scripts what we have to write it actually. As of my experience, I'm saying it is my experience, guys. I don't know what about the other people. As of my experience, why? Because since the last 5 years, I'm working into the data science and data analytics. So I find it that I even even the way that means whenever I am taking some sessions on this particular GUI based, so the notes is going to be like how the notes is going to be like is actually, guys, from the menu. So from the so and so menu option, right click on that, click on this, select this option. So that is going to be the nodes actually, guys. So while we are discussing about this Power BI or any GUI based tools, your notes will be like this only, guys. My explanation will be like this only. So drag and drop this, right click on this, drag this option here, drop this option here, select this option. Okay, click on this. So something like that, everything is going to be like that only. So even if you want to write the notes also, you have to just write down the navigation only. We have to just practice the navigation only, guys. Nothing to learn here now. But here it is not like that, because whenever it is a navigation, it is not a concept. Anybody can learn the navigation. Only thing is just a practice. Just a practice actually, guys. Everything is visible there. Only thing is we have to go for a trial. Like we have to try with a different options. We have to try it actually. But whereas in scripting based, it is not like that. Unless and until you have a clear idea about that, if we have a clear control on that, then we can develop this kind of in scriptings, what we can do that. So I feel because in scriptings, I can show you the code. I can show you the code. So this is the code. By looking at the code, you can understand what is the output. But whenever in a GUI based, if I show you a visualization, you cannot understand how that particular visualization has came. So we have to go and we have to verify. So scripting is more user control, whereas GUI based is going to be nothing but easy. It is going to be simple, easy, drag and drop. So time saving. Okay, without having any much knowledge, we can do that. But here, everything is going to be a scripting based. We have to do it actually. Everything we have to do it by the scripting actually. But one of the main advantage of using the GUI based is, guys, as of my experience, I'm saying that it is going to be what we can call it as a dashboard reporting actually, guys. Mainly in the real applications, the clients or the business people, they don't work with a single report at a time. They want multiple reports at a time. Multiple reports means in a single screen, in a single window, They want all that kind of a reports. It's not type of all the reports at a time. What do you mean to say dashboarding means? I'll just show you what is meaning of a dashboarding. A dashboard reports, what we are going to call it as. That is the one of the main advantage of using these GUI based tools actually, guys. Is it not possible in the scripting? Yes, it is possible actually, guys. But users need to know something little bit more and more. That means it's not like only if you know the Python, it is not sufficient, or if you know the only R is not sufficient. Along with that, some other extra frameworks are also going to be required, like something something like HTML tools or HTML applications we require. Some additional topics are required. It will make a little bit confusion for most of the people. But as of, if you ask a real data, if you ask a person, he says that he will be a little bit data visualization, simple reportings only we can do. But if you ask a real expert on the data visualization, he can develop any kind of a reports he can develop. We have beautiful reports we can develop by using the scripting based, we can develop it actually. I'll show you some of them so that you can get some kind of an idea. I'll also show you which are going to be, some of them are not possible in the Power BI applications also. I'll just an idea, I'll show you that applications. But main important is which is going to be what we are going to call it as a dashboard reporting. So maybe some of you guys knows about that, what is meaning of a dashboard reporting, but just I'll show you a small dashboard report. I'll show you actually, guys, a small dashboard report. So guys, I didn't started anything with the Power BI. Don't worry. Don't install any softwares also as of now. Okay. Don't install anything. I'll tell you what you have to install and how to work with that later. If already installed, well and good. If in the case, if it is not installed, why? Because anyhow, there is a latest update. Every month there will be latest updates will be there. So we can work with that particular updates actually, guys. Okay. Anyhow, we'll install the latest updates only and we'll see with that application actually. Okay. Now, so just no worries. Yesterday, who has been got attended? Nowadays, Python has been become a common skill for anybody, guys. Almost all everybody is known. They may be not experts in that, but at least they have a knowledge about like what is pandas, NumPy. What is Python, NumPy? What is going to be pandas? Maybe beyond that, they may not know about that, but not almost all anyone who is learning Python. Nowadays, everyone who is learning Python, so almost all they knows about that particular applications. So because I was a Python and R expert, so I can show you, because I was a data science expert actually. So I can show you everything with the respect to the Python and R, I can show you, but I don't want to mix up all the things. So just a quick understanding, guys. Yesterday I told you this is your Power BI, whatever the desktop window is going to be there. So as we discussed about that, just we are going to be getting the data actually, guys. So yesterday I have been using now, guys, any data you can use it. I have been extracted the data from a data set called as n, which is going to be a used cars.csv file, a very small data set actually, guys. A very small data set, which is having a very few number of columns, like 6 or 7 columns we have the data. And after that, we are going to be having somewhere around 150 or something we have the records actually, guys. So this is going to be that it's going to be nothing but just the preview of what exactly it is going to be showing you. And just I'm going to be clicking on this option, what I'm going to call it as load actually, guys, without writing any code actually, guys. Without writing any code, we are importing. That is the only thing what we are doing. If you go to scripting based, we have to write some code. Writing some code means you need not to write a big program. Just a one line of code, you have to write it. 1 or 2 lines of code, not more than that. So 1 line of code is for importing, and 1 line of code is basically for, which is going to be for importing the libraries, and 1 line of code is for importing of the data actually, guys. Okay. So we can see it is loading the data, just a few seconds of time. It won't take that much time. Right. Can you see very clearly, guys? It has been imported totally 150 rows of data. It has been got imported actually. So this is your data actually, guys. We'll see them. These are all the different types of visualizations, bar charts, okay, line charts, scatter plots, pie charts, funnel charts. Okay, so these are going to be histograms, what we can see them. Okay, so many options are going to be there. Slicer is going to be there. A table is going to be there. This is what we call it as a matrix. Even if you want, you can write the script actually, guys. R scripts and Python scripts, we can write it. Okay. So something like that, some of them has been got imported. I'll show you the application later actually, guys. Okay. Now, so simple application, I'm not using any this one. I'm just using a normal table actually, guys. You can see the table. Don't worry. Later we'll work with that application actually. See, guys, it is going to be a simple table I'm going to be using. Simple table. So if you are familiar with any database knowledge, everybody knows about what is a table. Almost all who have the knowledge, who do not have the knowledge, does not matters. What is a table? A table is nothing but it's an object which is used to display the data in the format of rows and columns. It is a text based actually, guys. It's not a visualization. Now see, I'm going to be selecting some data actually, guys. Like I'm selecting for example, I'm selecting a column like which is going to be the year column I have been got selected actually. Okay, don't worry, I'll show you the data actually. So it is going to be year column is going to be getting displayed. Okay, I don't want to summarize. You can see the data actually. Just you can see the data actually, guys. So what are the different years of data? See, 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004. I just want to select what are going to be the different models of cars. What are the different models of cars we have it actually? What are their prices? What are their mileages, etc., etc. We can see it actually, guys. So I'm not going for any, don't worry about that. I'll tell you what are those particular applications later. I will tell you about that particular applications later actually, guys. So see, guys, this is going to be the data what we have been got it actually. This is a data what we can see it actually, which is going to be a simple tabular format, which we can see with the data actually, guys. Just see how user friendly and how simply we can develop the kind of a reports. Now, this is a tabular format actually. It's a table actually, guys. Just beside the table, I'm going to be placing something called as a slicer. I'm going to be placing it actually, guys. Have a look at this. This is going to be nothing but a slicer. Just have a look at this. I'm going to be selecting which is going to be the model, and I'm dropping it actually, guys. Can observe carefully. This is the data what we have it actually, guys. See, I just want to show you how simple the reporting is there. It is not a complicated one. Functional wise, if you see, it is a very complicated one. See, if I selected the option called as an SE, observe carefully, guys. Whenever I selected the option SE, automatically the table is going to be filtering the data, which is going to be only the SC model cars only. It is going to be showing you. If I selected SEL, then automatically it is showing you only SEL model cars only. If I selected only SES, it is showing you only the SES model cars only what we can see. You can see the data. Only the SES model cars only it is going to show you actually. You can apply as many filters you can apply actually, guys. Let me place another filter if I place it actually. In this filter, I'm going to be placing, which is going to be the year I'm going to be placing it actually, guys. Just see how I'm going to be doing the option actually, guys. At different options, at different ways, we can extract that particular data actually, guys. Don't worry about that. Later, we are going to be working with all that kind of a techniques, what we are going to be using it actually. So it is going to be just, we can do some kind of slicing. It is also slicing, but it is going to be range slicer, what we are going to call it as. So once if you select that particular option, it is going to be placed. We'll see that. We'll see that applications later actually. So if you can observe carefully, what do you mean to say dashboard reporting? What do you mean to say dashboard reporting means? This is what we can call it as dashboard reporting. Means whenever I selected one option here, automatically all the other reports has to reflect the data which is related to whatever the data I have been selected. See, simple. I selected the option called as an SEL. I selected the option called as an SES. You can see that. But you are unable to select which is going to be. That means you can select it actually, guys, like this, multi-select. Control plus select, I have been got selected actually. Control plus select, whatever the option you can select it. So control plus select, multi-select options are there. We have an options are there, don't worry. So if you go to that particular options of which is going to be the slice, there we are having the options are there. So you can select that option. What are slicer settings actually? Orientation is vertical, orientation is horizontal. It is an horizontal actually. Selection, do you want to allow multiple selections? Do you want to select all option is going to be there? Can you see? there is going to be an option is going to be all options are there. Do you want to hello to multiple select? Multiple select means user can select multiple selects, he can do that. So do you want that option or not? So like that, we are having the option is going to be there. Single select. If I select single select, only one option can be selected at a time. So if I select the other one automatically, can you see the report is changing automatically? But if I try to use click plus select, it won't allow you to do it actually, guys. It won't allow you to do it actually. Why? Because this is going to be the one what we can see it actually. See, automatically it is going to be changing it actually. Like same. These are what we are going to call it as dashboards. So within a single screen, I will put multiple options at a time, and I'm going to do it actually. Is it not possible in the scripting base? No, it is possible, guys, but a little bit more coding because the interaction between one plot and other plot, all these are going to be makes a little bit. The scripting is going to becomes a little bit complicated, but it is not going to be that we can't do it actually, guys. So that is one of the advantage of using this GUI based. So the main advantage is going to be we can develop the reports. I'm not saying that reports are simple. By using a simple drag and drops only. So simple drag and drops, we can develop the reports actually. So which is going to be time is going to be within a very less time you can develop the reports. So today the report is very small report, but whenever we want to develop some kind of an complicated reports, so we cannot, it will take some time whenever we go for the scripting based, but whenever we go for a GUI based, it is going to be a very simple, less time it is going to take it actually. And one of the advantage is dashboards. So even in the dashboards also we can develop it. I can just tell you. So there is in Python, we are having something, a library called as an dash. So maybe I don't know. Even if we have been worked with the Python also, they may not know about that Plotly and the dash. These are the two libraries which we uses basically for dashboard reporting. They will do that actually. So we develop with the help of the Python code, or by using R code, we can write it actually. You don't really require a much skill or some kind of a knowledge. The programmatical skills and all these things are not going to be required. So simple drag and drop features actually, guys, within a less time you can do, and which we can say dashboard and more user interactive reports. That is the main advantage actually, guys. User interactivity. So more user interactive reports we can say. So if I select this option, it has to change this report. Whenever I select this option, it has to change the report. User interaction will be there. Mostly whenever we work with the Python scripting layers, the scripting based, it is not generally user interactive. Users won't interact with them. Static reports. There are going to be something like a static reports. Users can't select the option. Automatically, some kind of a static report that can be developed with the help of this kind of the scripting based applications. But a very beautiful applications, we can do it actually. Almost all every with a single line of code, they can develop it actually, guys. I'll show you some kind of the reports which we can do that, because I was an expert in that. So I have a lot of expert in that. So I can show you like different application with a simple line of code. So many people think that it's going to be not that much, it's easy to write the scripts actually. One line of code, 2 lines of code, hardly 2 to 3 lines of code, that is sufficient. Whatever the reports you require, we can develop it actually. Whatever the type of reports. Now you can place, what is dashboard reporting actually, guys? So place one, which is going to be a scatter plot here now. Place one scatter plot. Just like you see how we are going to be prepare the presentations in PowerPoint presentations, that much simple, we are going to be developing this kind of a reports actually. You can place as many reports, we can place it actually. So same technique, I'm going to be selecting the, let us say price on the x-axis, the mileage on the y-axis. I'm going to be doing that. So don't worry why I'm saying that do not summarize. I'll tell you the applications. So this is going to be the whatever that particular data points are there. Yesterday we have been seen now, but observe carefully. It is only for SES. If I select this, only SC model. If I select this, only SEL model. See, the table is changing, the plot is changing, everything is going to be changing actually. I didn't done any coding at all. I didn't done any interaction with that. I didn't written any code. This is going to be wherever the canvas, wherever I'm placing this, it is itself is going to be by default a dashboard. I didn't written any code for that. Just I dragged it and dropped it there. Automatically, they will be interrelated. So once I selected SC, you can see that. Only SC model cars data only it is displaying. When I selected SCS, automatically table data is changing as well as your scatter plot is also changing actually. See, it's very clear. Very less number of samples in SEL. That's why we can see very less number of points what we can see. Okay. So there are so many features are there. So if you see, whenever I put a pointer on the point, it is telling you what is the value. So it is telling the value actually, guys. This feature is what we are going to call it as the hovering feature, what we are going to call it as hover, H-O-V-E-R, over. When I put a pointer on this, so printing that particular, it is plotting that particular the value. What is that value? It is telling about that. That feature is going to be nothing but what we are going to call it as the hovering feature actually. So just if you want to know everything, you can check it out actually, guys. It is going to be what is going to be the hover feature actually, guys. Normally, it's not only here, it's a normally what is meaning of the hover feature in, let us say that in visualization. Anywhere it is going to be the same technique actually, guys. So what is meaning of an hover feature actually, guys? It's an interactive. It is nothing but an interactivity actually, guys. So which is going to be hover actions, how we are going to do that. So see, hovering to highlight, whenever I just move the pointer there, highlighting the elements in response to mouse interaction is a common way to make your visual feel more responsive and it can help you. So these are going to be the applications actually. Just when you put a pointer there, it is going to do it actually, guys. So how to do that? So I can do it by scriptings also. Don't think that it is going to be for everything. There is a library is going to be there. There is going to be a little bit libraries will be there actually, guys. For every option you work, we are going to be having them actually. Okay. So don't worry. It is an out of our discussion. Just to show you like how simple the reporting. Yesterday I shown you one example, like just a small report, how I have been got developed it actually. So today also I'll just show you one or two examples actually, and it is always better to know. So don't think that you are learning Power BI, you should be knowing only about Power BI. What are the other? As I told you, it's not a concept of learning Power BI. It's a concept of learning a data visualization skill. So whether you work with Power BI or whether you work with Tableau, whether you work with ClickView or something or a Python or anything, just an idea like what is data visualization? So how we can do, what are the different options are there? Why? Because we don't know. Whenever we go for a company, sometimes you may require some kind of a Python scripts may be required. So if you're familiar with the Python scripts, it will be very easy to do that actually. Why? Because you can see there is an R script is there and there is going to be Python script is there. So if you want, if you are expert in Python, for example, if anybody asks me to develop a report in Power BI, I don't know anything about Power BI. For example, I have a complete expertise in Python. Then simply I can write a Python script, I can write it and I can develop it actually. I can just write the Python script and automatically it is going to be gets converted into the data visualization, what it is going to be gets converted actually. Okay. So like that, like that, we are going to be gets working with that kind of an applications, what we are going to be using it actually. So just I'll show you like how simple the coding we can do that and how exactly we are going to be using it actually. Just I'll show small libraries I'll show you so that you can understand. Like scripting is also very easy. My main point of discussion here is don't think that scriptings are complicated and the GUI based are going to be easy. Scripting is also very easy, but a little bit programmatical skills are going to be required. Whereas whenever we work with this kind of a GUI based applications, you don't require any programmatical skills. If you just have a knowledge of some basic SQL, that is going to be sufficient with that. Okay. So don't worry, just listen out of the discussion, guys. Just the same kind of an applications, how we can develop in Python or how can you develop in R. I'm talking about a scripting based. I'm just comparing a scripting based with a GUI based. How do you do it in scripting based? How do you do it in a, which is a GUI based? I didn't use any keyboard. Everything is a drag and drop. Only with the help of the mouse, I developed it. Whereas whenever we come to the scripting based, I don't use the mouse. I don't use the mouse. Everything I'm going to be doing with the help of a coding only, I'm going to be doing it actually. So just I'm opening a small Jupyter notebook. Jupyter notebook are nothing but the notebooks which we use it to write some Python. Not only Python, it supports so many languages, so many frameworks. It will support it. Python, R, Scala, Spark, anything. Almost all anywhere we can use it. Actually, yes. No worries about that. But as of now, I'm writing a Python script only. Just a small Python scripts. I'll write it. Just see how simple the scripts are going to be there. Without writing any much code, we can do it actually. Without writing any much code, I'll show you like how simple the coding is going to be gets done actually. So whenever we want to do that, I have to import some libraries actually, guys. That is the only thing we have to do that. Which library is used for what purpose? So import, which is going to be, it's a Python libraries, guys. So I'm importing a library called as an matplotlib dot, which is going to be pyplot as an PLT. So it's an out of the discussion, guys. So just it is only as a part of introduction only we are talking about that. But once your actual classes starts, in our actual classes, we don't discuss anything about them. So 3 libraries, guys. One is a pandas, one is a matplotlib, and one is a seaborn. It's a part of data visualization skill only, but scripting based. So matplotlib and seaborn, there are 2 libraries which basically use it for data visualization. Seaborn is a little bit higher level. Pandas is basically used to import the data. So don't worry about that. And don't think that if you have to learn Python for learning Power BI, not required, guys. It's not mandatory. It is only just an optional. Why? Because sometimes we can interact with them. Sometimes we have an option is there. Even as I told you now, guys, even there is going to be some kind of machine learning. You can implement it, guys, but that is an out of the discussion. It is going to be out of the discussion actually, guys. Even some kind of a machine learning applications, text analytics, okay, so which are going to be part of data science. So because I know them, I can explain if you want. So if you have just to have a look at this, I'll show you an application actually, guys. Can observe carefully. This is going to be a Power Query editor actually, guys. In the Power Query editor, if you can see at the last, what we can see is there is going to be something called as a text analytics. This is going to be nothing but something called as an cognitive services. Normally, normal Power BI people, they don't discuss about that. But being I was into the machine learning, being I was into the text analytics, and being it is what is this particular cognitive services actually. Cognitive services are nothing but working with images actually, guys. It is working with the images. So generally, who are into the machine learning, deep learning, they knows about that. Even text analytics, as part of NLP related application, they use this actually. And this is going to be some kind of an Azure machine learning services we are using it actually. See, they are also having some integration with them actually. Azure machine learning, what we can see it actually. So even they are going to be integrated. So because I was an expert in both data science and machine learning and etc., I know why do you require them. You don't require them actually, but I know that how to use it. Just I'll give an idea about what is text analytics. So text analytics also we are going to be doing it actually. Okay. Now have a look at this. A simple example I'm doing it actually, guys. See, just to show you the idea how simple it is going to be there. So I'm reading some CSV files actually. Like that, we have to write the scripts. D:/, it is a data / the same file which I have been used earlier. This is going to be the cars data set. So whatever I've shown there, the same data set I'm showing you here now. But here it is going to be as a table format. I can show you. It's a tabular format like this. Without writing any code, simply by drag and drop, I've done it. But here I'm writing some kind of a code it is going to be. Just have a look at this, how simple it is going to be. SNS dot, which is going to be a scatter plot. So everything is a scripting based. So there is a seaborn library is there, scatter plot. Simple. X is equal to nothing but price. Y is equal to nothing but it is a mileage. And I said data is equal to nothing but it's a cars data set actually. PLT dot show. Don't worry about that. It's not related to you guys. So how the scripting based will be written and how the GUI based is going to be written. Same plot, guys. This plot and this plot are going to be exactly the same only. This plot and this plot is exactly the same only actually, guys. So actually, let me do one thing. Go to the slicer settings and I'll select the option to select multi-select. Single select is off. Multi-select, we are going to do that. And all option also, we are going to be doing it. All option. So I'll say select all. All of the options are done. So this report and this report, if you see, this visualization, if you see, exactly the same only, guys. Nothing difference is there. Same colors are slightly difference is there. Here also it is going to be there. Yesterday, if you just remember, like different cars, I want to plot it in a different colors. Then I selected the model and dropped it into something like a legend. So each model is been displayed with a different color. SC model with a blue colors, SCL model with a violet color, SCS models are going to be pink colors. How do you do it actually? Yes. Here we are going to be doing hue is equal to model. Just it is an ideas actually, guys. I don't say that it's not possible. Absolutely possible. But only thing is you have to learn those things actually. Clearly, guys, clearly, if you want to learn all these data, these visual skills actually, guys, these visual skills, whatever that is available on the screen by default, if you want to learn all these data visualizations, it hardly takes 2 hours of time, guys. It takes only 2 hours of time actually, guys, to learn those particular skills. But if you want to learn the same data visualization within 2 days, you can develop the reports. Just 2 days is sufficient, guys. You can develop the report. Simple, at least some basic reporting, you can do it. But here, at least it requires 1 week to 10 days to do whenever we want to perform some kind of a data visualization here, we have to require it actually. Same example, I can just show you with an as many options. So multiple options are there. I'm not saying that we can't do that actually, but we can do it actually. So which is going to be SNS dot. Let us say something like an rel plots, I'm going to be using it. Just have a look at this, what I'm going to do it actually. I said column is equal to model actually. See what has been happened actually. The SCL models into one plot, SES models into another plot, and this is into another plot. This also I can do it there. But just 3 different plots we have to take it. Each one with a different data. We have to filter it and we have to do it actually. But here it is not like that. Simple application. They're also going to be developing a very beautiful reports actually, guys. Even 3D reports, I can develop it actually, guys. 3D. We can develop some kind of a 3D view reports also, we can see it actually. So that is an out of the discussion, but scripting is also very easy. See how many lines of code I have been got written. Just 2 lines of code I have been written. To read the data, 1 line of code, and to plot the data, it is going to be another just 2 or 3 lines of code, what we can see. If you want, I can display the color also. Hue is equal to nothing but model, etc., what we can see that. So something like that, we can just perform this kind of an application. All the 3 in 3 different plots. All the 3 in 3 different plots, or within a single plot also we can do that. If I don't write this column equals to, it is just like a calling a function only, guys. If you observe carefully, what I'm doing is I'm just calling a function here now. The name of the function is going to be rel plot, passing the parameters and working here now. Here it is completely drag and drop option, what we are going to be doing it actually. This is what, so see, when I put a pointer on that, you can see this is going to be what I told you about the hover feature actually. So can you do the hovering feature here? Absolutely, we can do it, guys. But for that, we have a separate libraries are there. We use as a separate libraries are going to be there. Just I'll show you only for understanding. Import, which is going to be, it's going to be plotly dot, which is going to be express as which is going to be px. It's a library, guys. For every application you want to do, there is a library will be there. Just you have to import that particular library and we have to work with them. Except that nothing is going to be there. No functional code. You need not to write any coding for that. Just there is a library will be there. Import it and call the function which is going to be done. So the advantage is I told you know I can handle both of the applications actually. So it is very simple. Same technique actually. Just don't worry. It is going to be I'm using the same example actually. Cars. X is equal to price. Y is equal to nothing but it's a mileage. Over. Just I'll run the code. I'll just run the code. You can see it actually. So different libraries are there for a different purpose. So if you want to work with the hovering feature, this is going to be the plotly express is basically, it will take some time actually, guys. It will take some time to plot the data. So this is what? This is your textual data actually, guys. Normally, when you see the textual data, you can't understand anything like how many yellow color cars are there, how many SEL models are there, or how many year in 2011, or how many auto transmission cars. We can't understand it. But when you for the visually, if you see the data, it's very easy to understand, easy to interpret that particular data we have to require. So mostly the business users, the business analyst, see, this is going to be what I'm going to call it as this one actually. So put a pointer there. You can see it actually, guys. You can put a pointer there. It is going to be showing hovering feature actually. Just with a one line of code, what we can write. Hue is equal to nothing but model. Each model with a different colors, it will visualize it. It's taking some time and we can see it actually. I think it's not hue. There is some parameters will be there. It is color. It's a color is a parameter actually. So color is equal to model. So each model with a different color. I think exactly the same thing, guys. So it is going to be SE colors are in the orange color. These are SE models or red color. SES are going to be in the green color and the violet colors are going to be nothing but the model of SEL model. Same procedure, the same application as it is, we can see. But I didn't return any code for this actually, guys. I didn't return any code and I didn't return any scripting for that. Everything is a simple drag and drop option only. We have been got discussed about that. Okay. So this is, see guys, whenever I selected this point, automatically this is changing actually, guys. Why? Because it is going to be dashboard reporting. It is a dashboard reporting, guys. Once if we select one option here, how this particular, all this particular table and everything is changing, automatically it also changes. Interactivity. It is going to be a kind of an interactivity actually, guys. See, whenever I selected this, automatically it is going to be doing this option. Say I'm selecting multiple. This once I is on selecting each and every sample, one point is going to be plotting on the scatter plot. See, you can see very clearly. This is what we are going to call it as dashboarding actually, guys. Okay. So without writing any scripts, without writing any code for that, automatically it is going to be gets coming actually. So SES, if I selected SEL model, then the violet color will come. Previously SEL model cars are not there. Now I deselected this, only SE and SES cars. When I selected SEL, we are getting the car related to one SEL model also we can select it. Select all of them will come. Yes, select all of them, select all of them are going to be gets coming actually, guys. Okay. So that is going to be the way which we can visualize. So it's not like an Power BI or a Tableau or something thing, guys. We are learning some kind of a data visualization skills. What is a scatter plot? What is x-axis? What is y-axis? You can see the components actually, guys. What do you mean to say legend? Why do you require a legend? What is a size represents? We'll see all these particular properties. Only learn. So here what you learn it actually, guys. What is the scatter plot? What are these parameters represents actually? That's it. Apart from that, nothing we are going to be learning it actually, guys. So why do you require it and what is the purpose of this? So what is x-axis? What is y-axis? What is a legend? Yesterday I told you about what do you mean to say about a grid lines. So these are some of the things what we have been got discussed about this one, guys. Okay. But anyhow, so no worries about that. These are only just a part of our introduction part actually, guys. So we have not started with any actual concepts. Okay. So if anybody has missed yesterday's class, guys, don't worry. So whatever we have been discussing is only as part of the basic introduction part. So, okay, guys. So that's it for the today's class. Okay, from my side, just yesterday and today, data visualization does not require much. Demo sessions are not required, guys. Within 2 sessions, you'll understand like what exactly we are going to be doing. But anyhow, from the next coming classes, actually, guys, as I told you, 1 week we'll be having some basic introduction to, which is going to be not basic introduction, a little bit like what we can say that like a brush up classes actually, guys. Just like a refreshment classes on the, which is going to be some knowledge of any database system. Let us better to use SQL Server actually, guys. Why we are going to use SQL Server, we know that. So Power BI, I think I didn't discuss about that. Power BI is a product of Microsoft. So SQL Server is also product from Microsoft only. So better we learn SQL Server one part and then which is going to be Power BI. Even I'll tell you some kind of small examples also actually, guys. Like for example, I have some data in my SQL Server. Now I want to share the data. For example, a CSV file is there, Excel sheet is there, okay, or something like I have a JSON file or something like that. I can share these files very easily. I can just send it to your emails, or you can share it to your drive. I can do it. But whenever I have a data in your database system, how to migrate the data? Why? Because a Power BI developer may require that one also. So migrating some, it's not a, we are not discussing about a completely in-depth about that, because I want to share the data actually, guys. I want to share the data, or I want to copy the data from one server to another server. So you have some business data. So you want to migrate all that particular data to some other database. Actually, in real applications, the database developers will take care about that. But a Power BI developer also requires a little bit. Like, how do you take the backups of databases? How to restore the databases? Yes, nothing is there, guys. How do you backup and how do you restore? We'll take the backup from one system and we are going to restore into another system. So if I want to share my data, I'll take a backup file with you. I'll take a backup file. I'll give you the backup file with an extension of .bak. And that particular BAK file, you are going to restore it into your database so that you can get the data like that. So like that, some small database skills are also required, guys. So anyhow, tomorrow we don't have a class, guys. Generally on the first weekend, you don't have a classes. And one more thing is, so tomorrow also we are celebrating one small a religious festival, which is Shivaratri tomorrow. So I think some of you know about that. So tomorrow we have a Shivaratri. So we are celebrating it in our Telugu states. So tomorrow, anyhow, the first weekend we don't have a classes generally. So from the second week, we'll be having the Saturdays classes also. It is a 6 days a week classes actually, guys. So tomorrow you don't have a class, anyhow, Saturday and Sunday. So two don't have the classes actually, guys. So your next class will be on the 20th. 18th and 19th, you don't have the classes, guys. Some from 20th to the end of that particular week. So you will be learning some part of SQL Server classes. We don't go in depth about them, guys. In depth means main important concept, whatever that is required. I'll just explain that particular skill sets. I will explain it. Okay. So once it is completed, from the next week, from the next coming week, that is after that, that means after 27th or 28th, it may be. I think it is first, I think 21st, 28th, 28th, I think so. So it is going to be from the 27th onwards. You are going to be starting with the concepts of Power BI concepts. I'll start with them, guys. Okay. If you're already familiar with that, also just like a refreshment class, because my classes will be different, guys. My classes of SQL Server is different. You may learn it if your expertise well and good. Otherwise, just please attend the classes, even if you do have the idea. A little bit concept of joins, like how to create the tables. Why? Because all those particular skills is required in our Power BI concepts actually, guys. Some kind of a joins concept is going to be required actually, guys. We require some kind of an joins concept is going to be gets required actually. That is what we are going to call it as merge options, what we are going to call it as. Okay. So in the concept of this particular merge queries, we have to require some kind of an concepts, what we are going to require it actually, guys. Okay. So can you see these are going to be joins actually, guys. Inner joins, left outer joins, right outer joins. Okay. So what is left anti? What is going to be right anti? We are having some kind of a joins. If I teach you there, no need to discuss much about it here. That's why I'll first explain in the database terminologies, and after that we'll come here and we are going to be applying it actually, guys. Okay. Even append queries also, what are going to be the concatenations and all these things we are going to see with an application actually. Okay. So that's it from the today's class, guys. That's it for the today's class. So we'll meet up on the next session on the Monday, same time and the same link. We'll connect on the Monday's class, guys. Anyone, guys? Any questions? Yes, yes, Naveen, right? Naveen?
When the link changes for Monday, because
no. In the case, if there is any change, my team will update you. Please, all of you, check your email IDs, check your emails. Okay. If there is any change, generally it won't changes. In the case, if it is any changes, my backend team will inform you about that.
I have one more question.
Yes, yeah, Naveen.
It's a great class today. Can I get yesterday's video actually, because I've missed it yesterday?
Yesterday is a day, same demo only, but my backend team will share you that particular yesterday's recording session. They will share you.
Sure.
You will get a follow-up mail. You will get a follow-up mail to your email ID. So you can just in the follow-up mail, they will share you that particular demo videos. They will share you the links.
Great.
Okay,
And,
fine. Yeah. Thank you. Right. Yes. Somebody is asking a doubt, some question. Yes, Pushpalata, is there any prerequisite for this course as a fresher? As I told you, it is basic SQL knowledge, some data knowledge. That's it. Understanding the data, how to handle the data. Just if you know how to work with the data, what we'll do with the data, that is sufficient with that. With some knowledge of SQL concept is sufficient. That's it. That is going to be the prerequisites. Okay. Any more questions, guys? Anyone? If you have any questions. So it's very simple, guys, simple to explain. It's not like a programming language, why Java, why Python, or why what is machine learning, what is data science. This is a little bit time-taking process, but data visualization, everybody knows about that because every day we are going to work with some data visualization. You may see it, you may not develop it, but we know what is an importance of the data visualizations. Okay. That's it for the today's class, guys. So thank you all of you once again, and see you all of you on the Monday's class. Same time, same link, guys. In the case if any link changes, my backend team will send you an updated mails. Will send it. So please verify your mails just before attending the session, and then please join the class, guys. Right, guys. Right. So thank you all of you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you on the Monday's class, guys. Thank you all of you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Hi, good evening, all of you guys. Hope all of you can hear me. Yeah, guys, can I please?
Yes, sir.
Right. Thank you, guys. Just a second. Right. So, guys, hope all of you can hear me, right? Yeah, yes, thank you. So, guys, in the last two sessions, we have been taken some introduction part of what is Power BI. I have been got discussed about that. Just I told you, I think so. It is not that much explanation is required. Why? Because everybody knows about that. So what is Power BI and why do you require a Power BI? It's basically a data visualization tool, actually, guys. A GUI-based data visualization tool. What we can do, actually, guys, what we can do, we can connect whatever the data that is there in our text format or a value format, whatever the data was there, you can convert into the visual context. So why? Because I told you about that visually, human brains also can understand the data visually very easily. And even the data that can be interpreted by our human brains is also visually, they can process it faster than the values. So that is also one reason. There is going to be some kind of a biological reason, like how the human brains will identify the images or pictures better than whenever we see the data in a normal view. So human brains can faster process that the images basically. So visually, the human brains can understand the data easily. That is also one of the reason why the data visualization plays a very important role. So slowly I have been started. Actually, I didn't started with any implementation also. Guys, just one more small question. I think some guys has been joined for the today's class. Today is your first class. Please let me know. Anyone is there who has been joined for the today's class? Yes, Kiran Kumar, right?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So that I can just explain, guys. So nothing has been happened. Just it is only 2 introduction classes we have been got taken. Anyhow, my backend team will going to share you the recordings also. We'll share the recordings of the last 2 classes. This Thursday and Friday. Saturday we didn't have the session actually due to the Shivaratri. I didn't conducted the session on Saturday, and today is the 3rd session actually, guys. And we have a plan for today. So we are going to start with some database concepts. Which needs to be, everybody has to understand that because without having the concept of databases, the points are going to be gets unconnected in Power BI. So that is the reason everybody has to learn some basic concepts of a databases. Even not only with respect to the Power BI, even in real application, when you work on the Power BI or when you're working with the data, some basic concepts are going to be gets required actually. So not too much topics we are going to be going in deep into them. Just a little bit idea like how we are going to be gets working. We are going to be having a look into that actually. Right. So I just started with Power BI. So I told you not to install the Power BI also. Don't install it. In my system, it was already installed. Just that means just slowly I'm updating the what is going to be the features that are providing. Once again, we'll have a look into all these particular features also in the later applications. So we are learning a skill called as a data visualization, guys. We are not learning anything like Power BI. Don't limit your knowledge. Okay, don't limit your knowledge that I have known Power BI. We are learning a skill called as data visualization skill. So whether you do it by using by Power BI or a Tableau or a QuickView, or whether it is a scripting or any Python libraries, it does not matter. We are learning what is an importance of data visualization, what are the different types of visual skills we have to require, and basically the terminologies. So in data visualization, what are the terminologies that we have to learn it actually? So what is a scatter plot? What is a line plot? You can see it actually, guys. So don't install it. You can install it. It's not a matter. I'll tell you. So whenever we install the Power BI desktop here, don't worry, guys. I'm not starting with anything about the Power BI. So here we can see some kind of an data visualization objects. We can see it actually. So what are these actually? This is a bar chart, a stacked bar chart. This is a column chart. What is a bar chart? What is a column chart? Okay, what is going to be clustered? There is going to be again the same clustered bar chart is there. We are going to be having a clustered column chart is there. 100% stacked bar chart is there. 100% clustered column chart is going to be there. So what is the difference? Line charts, it's an area charts. It is going to be, can you see that stacked area charts, what we can see. This is going to be line and stacked column charts. So this we can see some kind of an options. Okay, we can see something like a tables. We can find it off here now. This is going to be what we are going to call it as a matrix. What is that? What is a pie chart? What is a donut chart? It is going to be. We'll see them actually, guys. So we have to understand the terminologies, like which type of plotting is used for what purpose actually. What kind of a data can be visualized? So every data cannot be visualized with the every type of the visual, every type of the plot or every type of visual. So different datas are going to be visualized in a different what are the different types we are going to be having it actually. We'll see them actually, guys. Okay. So anyhow, just a small 5-10 minutes. I'll just discuss about Power BI. So I told you guys, Power BI is going to be a GUI based. It is completely a GUI based, which is going to be a data visualization tool. It's a completely a GUI based drag and drop. Mostly we are going to use the mouse. So while I'm giving the notes, if you are writing the notes or I'm giving the notes or sharing the notes, so the notes is going to be like this actually, guys. So go to that particular file menu or go to the insert menu. Okay, click on this, click on the add column, select this option, right click on this. This kind of a navigations will be there. We learn only the navigations only. GUI based options are like that only, guys. Scripting based, if you're writing the code, there is going to be something different. We can share the code. Here, nothing will be there. It is only just the navigational part. So how do you get the navigational part? How do you get a practice on that? How do you understand that? How do you remember that? Only by practice. Only by practice. Scripting based is different case actually, guys. Scripting based, even if you don't practice now, after some 10 days or after 1 month, if you open the notes, at least you can understand that particular scripts. But navigational, it is not like that. Day-to-day practice is required. Only practice, guys. No logic is some logic is necessary. Without having any knowledge, without having any logical knowledge, we cannot go for some, but not like a programmatical part. No writing of any programs. A small scripts you may write it actually, but that is not an use scripting or any logics. We don't write. Data visualization itself is converting all the data into a visual format. So everything is going to be done by drag and drop options only, guys. We don't write any code for that. We don't require any much programmatical skills are not going to be required. So I'm just showing you, like in the last class, I shown you, like I connected to one database. I connected to a CSV file. I can connect to some JSON file, or I can connect to one XML file. You can connect to almost all different sources. So connect to the data, whatever the data you want to visualize, import it, and then we have to visualize that particular data. So don't worry, guys, because if anybody may thinks that something has been already started. I'm not starting with Power BI. Power BI will start it in the next week, guys. Next week, we are going to start with the Power BI. Just today, it's only just an idea. I'm just telling you that what features it is going to provide actually. So once again, guys, I'm just connecting some data. So you can see this is going to be when I open the Power BI screen, it is going to be the actual, whatever the page that is going to be gets coming actually. Don't worry about anything. So these are going to be, I'll tell you, you already know what are Excel workbooks, okay, Excel sheets, JSON files. You can also work with some kind of data, SQL server databases, or we can work with some kind of a blank queries. What are Power BI data sets? So many are there actually, guys. I'll show you some different products are there from Power BI. I'll show you a different products also. I'll show you with that. For the timing, I'm connecting with a small text file or a CSV file. I'm connecting actually, guys. So I'll share you these data sets later. Right now, it is not required. Just it is going to be, because I told you, I work on data science and data analysis. So I have a lot of data with me. So it's all public data sets, what we can see that. So this is the data what I have been loaded in the last class. I have been loaded it actually, guys. So just to show you one small feature actually, guys, just to show you one small feature. So, okay, so you can see, guys, there is some data has been got loaded. Don't worry about the data set. It is going to be some data which was related to some user cars data set actually. If you want, I'll show you the data. Don't worry. This is the data actually, guys. This is the data. Can you see? It is going to be the data related to some user cars, the cars which has been already used. So what is the year of manufacturing, and what is the model of the car? What is the price of the car? What is the mileage? What is the color of the cars? And what is the transmission, like auto transmission, manual transmission? Colors like yellow, gray, silver, blue, gray, etc., etc. What is the mileage? Mileage is how many miles it was already used. What is the price? You can use the price actually, guys. And there are different types of models are there, like SC models, SEL models. Okay. This is the data. We didn't create any manually, guys. We imported, we downloaded from some online resources. We have a different types of online resources. So as a data analyst and data scientist, I import the data from different public data sets. We have if you want to get any real data sets actually, guys, we have them. We have them actually. If you also want some data sets, I can share you the data sets. Okay. So this is the data what we are having it actually, guys. Okay. Now see, guys, just one of the feature which most of you does not going to tell you about that. I'm revealing it actually, guys. Why? Because if I reveal this feature, the first doubt that comes to your mind is, then sir, why I have to learn business? Why I have to learn Power BI? First of all, why I have to learn Power BI? Why? Because it is, everything is going to be nowadays. You have got, you know the concept. AI has been came into the picture. Driverless car was there. So one of example I can tell you, driverless cars. So the companies like Tesla or some other company, even they have been developed a driverless car. You know what is a driverless cars actually? Without having any human, without knowing anything about driving also, we can drive, we can just go in the car. It's an automatic driver. It is going to be there. Even if it is an automated, or even it's a driverless car also, sometimes there must be some human has to interact with that actually, because there is no guarantee that 100% it is going to be 100% it is accurate. So it is going to cost the life of a person actually. It is not a cost of a money. It is the life of a person actually. So if anything goes wrong, it may be either the person in the car is going to be gets die, or there may be human on the road, or it may be some other person on the road. He may be dying. So even if it is AI is 100%, AI is 100%, even it was implemented also, still there must be some human interaction must be there. But he need not to be an expertise in that. He need not to be an expertise in that. Okay, and nowadays, even you have seen one of the success story we are talking about, that Chat GPT. So hope you all of you guys has been started using the Chat GPT. So Chat GPT is one of the success story of AI. It's a language model. Just like human interaction can be gets done actually. So even sometimes I also uses I'm also going to use as a Chat GPT. I moved from Google search to Chat GPT, guys. If anything I want to explain you, I'll always go to Chat GPT to explain you the application. Previously I used to use Google search. So whenever I want to explain any topic, I'll used to go to the Google search and do it actually. But now I'm going for the Chat GPT. So Chat GPT you can start using, guys. Everybody, just with nothing is required. Just log into the Chat GPT with your Gmail account and you can start chatting. You can just start chatting with that particular Chat GPT. It is a completely an AI powered language model. It can understand the human language. It can understand the human language. Even in the Power BI also, guys, it is going to be there is an AI is there. So many people does not reveals that. Why? Because this, if I reveal that AI is supported, you obviously you get something in your mind is, then why a particular company requires a BI developers? BI developers, we have a lot of requirements. Okay, I'll show you that. Just nothing is there, guys. So just example, you don't know anything about how to develop a chart. I imported a data set called as an usercars.csv file. Just an example. For this particular model, I just want to know how many cars are there in each and every model. I want to know about that. So SC model, how many cars are there? SEL model, how many cars are there? And SES model, how many cars are there? So for each model of the car, how many cars are there? I want to develop a report. So see, guys, previously I have been selected one visual from here and then I plotted it. Now I'm not doing anything actually, guys. I'm not doing anything I'm not doing anything here actually, guys. Okay, so don't worry about that. I just double clicked here actually, guys. I just double clicked. Okay, I just double clicked here actually, guys. This is canvas. I'll talk about the technology later. I just double clicked on the canvas. So see, there is going to be some kind of a question and answers are going to be gets coming actually, guys. Previously, we type in Google search. We know that no, guys, we already type something. Otherwise, I'll do one thing. I'll open a new page. I'll open a new page actually, guys. Can you see? So in Google search, whenever we want to type a question, already there are previously typed questions will be coming. So simply you can see that this is going to be what we can say that. So whatever the plot you require, see, it's a purely language models actually, guys. Even Microsoft also has been came up with a language model as a competitor with the Chat GPT. But I think you have seen some news about the Microsoft Chat GPT. So it is scolding the users. It is scolding the users actually, guys. So recently we have seen some kind of a news related to that. So it is also language model. Nowadays, Microsoft also will implement all the language models into their applications actually. So see, ask a question about your data. I want to develop, for example, I want to develop a bar chart. Okay. So simply it is going to be, I said, which is going to be cars, which is going to be model count with a bar chart. Just an example, observe carefully, guys. I didn't return anything actually, guys. Simply cars model count with a bar chart actually. Okay. So, or I can say cars model wise. Just only thing is it cannot understand the language, but it can do it actually, guys. Or we can see which is going to be cars model or model wise, what is going to be the cars, which is going to be bar plot, whatever it may be. Just it may not be 100% accurate. It is developing a report, but later we'll see that application actually. So see, I didn't done anything actually, guys. I didn't done anything actually. Automatically a bar chart has been got created actually. One bar chart has been created. Don't worry about that. It is going to be something it has been got done. You can just you can make some modifications. We can do it actually. So you can just, that means without doing any manual work, without doing any manual work actually, guys, I have been plotted this particular data actually. So total price and total mileage, it is giving some suggestions actually. See, it is an AI-based application actually, guys. It is going to be AI-based application. What we can see that. How many models of cars are there? There are 3 models of cars are there actually, guys. There are 3 models of cars are there. What are those particular 3 models of cars? We have seen now. SE, SEL, and SES models. What we can see that. I'm not using any of the option actually, guys. Just double click on that, and automatically we are going to be getting some options. Using that, we can work with this kind of an applications actually. So it is going to be some user car sorted by the price. Automatically, the data is going to be gets coming actually. I didn't return any code at all. Automatically, according to the price, the data was automatically got sorted actually. So see, so this is going to be an AI-powered business intelligence application actually. So these are the features. So obviously we'll get it out. Sir, in the case if everything is done by itself only, then what is our role actually? It cannot develop 100% accurately as much the clients requires. There must be some kind of an human. Actually, the human has to interact with that. Unless and until it does not becomes. But it is a simple, which is going to be a simple way to develop this kind of a reports actually. That is what the main the features which nowadays almost all data visualization tools are providing actually. AI was integrated, itself will develop the reports. But whenever it is a complicated one, the AI also can't generate it actually. Then human interaction is going to be required actually, guys. Okay. So just I'm telling about some of the features. So don't worry about all those things. Okay. Just let me show you once. Even I maybe have been developed some kind of an reports. So which we can see. Just double click on this canvas. Nothing feature is required. Nothing feature is going to be required. You can ask what is going to be a scatter plot with which is going to be price comma mileage. That's it. Automatically it is going to develop it actually. It is developing it actually, guys. That's it. But it has been developed by calculating the sum. I have to make a small changes. Just nothing is there. I have to just make some small changes. Once if we make the changes, automatically it is going to becomes this. Even I didn't done any drag and drop option also. In last class, same example, if I want to do it manually, I can do it manually also. So take a scatter plot here now. There is a scatter plot. So drag and drop it here. And I have to, I told you, which is going to be drag and drop the price in the x-axis and price drag and drop the mileage on the y-axis. You want to drag and drop the y-axis actually. And remove the aggregation. Don't summarize it. Then it is going to be the report like this. Same report, same application as it is. Manually, I have drag and drop. Here it is done by the AI powered. So like that, anybody, it's a very simple, very easy. I'll tell you the definition of what is Power BI also. What Microsoft says. What Microsoft says actually. So according to the Microsoft, what is Power BI actually, guys? According to the Microsoft, Power BI is going to be nothing but, I'm just writing the same definition. You can find it in the Power BI website also, we can find it off. So Power BI is which is going to be, according to Microsoft, I'm talking about. What is the definition of Power BI? What is Power BI if I talk about that? No need to buy heart anything, guys. So what is Power BI? Let us say that. Okay. So according to the Microsoft, so Power BI is going to be nothing but what we can say that Power BI is a unified, and which is going to be a scalable. The term scalable. So something, what is meaning of, first of all, what is the terminology called as an scalable? Unified means, you know that actually, guys. Unified means it is going to be some collection of features actually. So a lot of features are there. You can develop the reports. We can share the reports. It is an unified solution, they say that. Then what is scalable actually? Scalable means nothing but as the data increases, as for example, as the data increases, according to that, you can also increases your resources. That's why we call it as a scalable solution. That means it is going to fit for a small application as well as a medium application, or which is going to be a huge applications also we can work. So data is a small data, or a data is a medium size, or a data is a large size. According to that, it is scalable. It is a scalable platform, or what we can say that it is a scalable platform for which is going to be a self-service. Self-service means which is for our individual usage, or it can be either for an enterprise usage. Power BI is a unified or a scalable platform for self-service, the self-service, and enterprise, which is going to be the business intelligence. This is going to be what the according to the Microsoft it is going to be. If you want, you can find the definition. Maybe some words may be different. I'm just telling in a different way. It may be a platform or a solution. It may be uses. And it also says that what we can do it actually, guys. Connect to almost all the same definition. Connect to. You can connect to any kind of a data. You can connect to any kind of a data. You can work with a text files. You can work with database, JSON files, XML files, almost all any type of sources. Connect to, and you can also visualize any data. You can connect and you can visualize any data. And not only you can visualize the data actually, guys, and you can seamlessly without having any effort. You know what is meaning of a seamlessly? Seamlessly means without any effect, without having much effort. What we can do is seamlessly it is going to be infuse. Infuse means we can integrate them, integrate that particular visuals into the apps you use in your daily life, or you use daily. You use in our daily life actually. So every day, whatever you are using the apps, almost all in any apps, we can integrate with that actually. Infuse that particular visuals into the apps which you are going to use, which your apps use daily. Right. You use daily actually. This is the definition of Power BI. I'll show you. If you just want to go to the Power BI, you can ask the Microsoft, what is Power BI? So just go for Power BI actually, guys. Microsoft Power BI. Microsoft Power BI. I'll tell you, don't download it actually. I downloaded this one only, guys. Microsoft Power BI desktop. I'll tell you what are the other things we have to download. So see here, what is Power BI actually, guys? So if you can see that, as I told you, a Power BI is a unified and a scalable platform for self-service and enterprise business intelligence. Connect to and visualize any data and seamlessly infuse the visuals into the apps you use every day. That's it. So that is what the definition is also going to be. Use every day or daily, whatever you can say that. I said every day, daily, I said every day. That's it. So why it is a unified platform? Because it is giving all the tools that are going to be required. You can design the reports, you can share the reports, you can deploy the reports. It's a unified solution and scalable platform. So it works with any kind of an data, small data, medium size, large size, anything it can works. You can use it for self-service. That means for your own purpose also we can use, or either to share with the enterprise business intelligence also what we can use. You can connect and visualize any data. And not only that, those visuals can be easily integrated, or you can infuse those particular visuals into the apps you are going to use every day. That is what the definition of Power BI. But anyhow, before going for Power BI, so today we are going to be discussing about how to work with, which is going to be, because a database knowledge is required actually, guys. So if you guys or anybody, some of the people are already having the idea, guys. But once again, for 1 week, guys, not more than that, just for a 1 week, we are going to be gets working with them actually. Okay. So that is going to be, we are going to be gets working with the SQL Server database. Why specifically SQL Server also? You are aware about that, because Power BI is a Microsoft product, guys. That's why we are also going to be using a Microsoft database, a Microsoft supported database. So don't try to think more about the database, guys. Don't think more about the database. If you have any problem, nowadays database is a common skill actually, guys. Everybody has to know at least the basic knowledge of SQL. It's a common to everybody. Whether you are a computer science, whether you are in whether you're non-computer science, everybody, because nowadays anywhere you go, compulsory there is a database. Do you want to learn Java? Yes, some part of SQL is required. It's not that completely without doing that you cannot survive it. You can survive it. At least some basic knowledge is required. So do you want to work with .NET, or do you want to work with Java, or you want to work with any kind of an application? Some minimum knowledge of some database system is required actually, guys. Okay. So anyhow, there are so many databases are there, which are specifically what we call it as relational databases. So just to get some idea, because it is all about data only, guys. So whenever it is all about the data, at least some basic knowledge, of SQL, some basics is required. If you want to really learn SQL completely, at least it is going to take somewhere around 2 months. It will take it somewhere around 2 months, because there will completely teach or train a complete database management. But here it is not that much required. Hardly maybe 1 week. I'm not saying that exactly 1 week. It may be somewhere around 1 week to maybe somewhere 8 days, 9 days, or 7 days. Hardly it is going to be taken. Not more than that actually. So we'll spend some time, guys, who are already having the idea about SQL Server. Please, just like a refreshment for you. Okay. So don't think that it is like a boring classes, and don't think that this is a SQL Server class actually, guys. It's a Power BI session actually. Just before starting with the Power BI, some basic knowledge of. Later also I can teach you. Immediately it is not required actually, because mainly whenever we work with the Power BI, we are having something called as, which is going to be some kind of a model is there actually, guys. In this model, we are going to create some kind of a relationships. We are going to create it actually. We have to create some kind of a relationships. And already I told you also, some of the terminologies are going to be which we use as part of our database terminologies. Don't worry about that. I'll tell you what is this Power Query. Even once again, just for a small timing to make you understand that. We have an option called as something called as merge queries are there actually, guys. We are having something called as merge queries actually. So while we are doing this merge queries, we are going to be having something called as, we are going to be using something what we are going to call it as. Can you see? There is some kind of an joins concept is there. Left outer join, right outer join, full join, full outer join. What is inner joins? Okay. These are all part of your database concepts only, guys. Nowadays, this has been came outside the database. Now they are using everywhere, even in SQL and non-SQL also they are using it. It's one of the common feature actually, guys. It's a generalized common concept. We have to learn it actually. I need not to explain only in terms of a database. Even by taking two Excel sheets also I can explain it. Or by taking two flat files also I can explain it. But it is in database knowledge, it is very easy to understand because it has been derived from database concepts only. That is the reason we are going to be learning a little bit about the concepts of SQL actually, guys. Okay. Anyhow, I'll share you the software. You don't worry to, you don't really worry to work on that application also. Later we can see, later you can work with that particular data sets later. I can share you the software and all these things later actually. Okay. Now, just let me introduce something about the SQL Server, guys. Just a small example. So just a small point of discussions we want to discuss it actually. So these are all what we are going to call it as a DBMS actually, guys. DBMS stands for, which is going to be nothing but a database management system. So DBMS is going to be nothing but a subject, or we can say it is a concept which deals with management of data. It's a database management system. We're not starting from scratch actually, guys. Like what is data, what is information, why should I store it? I'm not starting from that particular basic level actually, guys. Directly I'm starting with DBMS, a database management system actually, guys. What is a database management system? A database management system is nothing but, guys, a subject or a concept which deals with management of data. So it is nothing but management of data. Simply, we can also call it as data management. What do you mean to say data management actually, guys? The skills that are required to store the data. Today, why you are storing the data actually, guys? Tomorrow, we are going to use the data. For what purpose we are going to use it? I may read the data. I may add some data. I may modify some data, or I may say some deleting of the data. All these are going to be comes under something what we are going to call it as the management of data. So whenever you have some data with you, how do you add some new data? How do you go for modification? How do you delete them? Or how do you read this data? All these are going to be comes under management of the data actually. They are called as management of data actually. So this is what basically a subject or a concept which is going to deals with management of a data actually. So to perform this DBMS, obviously we have to require a database system, guys. What is a database? A database is a software where we can do all these database management. All this is going to be, all this management of data can be done in a database. A database is a software actually, guys. A database is a software. Don't think that it is used to store the data, guys. So many people says that database is just to a storage. No, you are not only just storing the data actually, guys. A software or a system, you can say that actually. A system which is used to manage the data actually, guys. Managing means I told you, no, you can store it, you can read it, you can add it, you can modify, you can delete, all these things we can do it actually. Now the main concept is, what is meaning of a relational database? Very simple actually, guys. It's a relational database. What do you mean to say relational databases actually, guys? Relational databases, or simply we call it as an RDBMS, Relational Database Management System. A relational database is a database actually, guys. It's also a database only. Database, but which stores the data, simple guys, which stores the data in the format of tables. Which stores the data in the format of tables. So relational database is also a database. What is database? A database is a software or a system which is used to manage the data. Then what is a relational database? A database which stores the data in the format of tables. In the format of tables is nothing but what we are going to call it as a relational database. We all of you know what is a table mean to say, guys. A table is nothing but which is going to store the data in the format of rows and columns. Just now we have seen a table called as a cars. What is the year of the manufacturing? What is the model it belongs to? What is the price? What is the mileage, etc., etc. Columns and rows. 2011 model is going to be SE 3800, mileage 7852. 2012 a model called as an SEL, which is 21,995. Mileage is going to be 6,840 something, whatever it may be, guys. Like this, you can store any data, guys. Customers data, students data, products data, employees data, anything you can store it actually. So it's not only for storing. Today you store the data. Tomorrow you can add up some new data. We can modify, you can delete, anything you can do it actually, guys. Okay. So a relational database is nothing but the databases which stores the data in the format of tables are called as RDBMS. Now, the examples of RDBMS actually, guys, so many are there, but I'm telling some few databases like. So one of the most popular database is Oracle from Oracle Corporation. And from Microsoft, we are having a database called as an SQL Server. They are developed by different companies, guys. SQL Server was developed by Microsoft. Oracle is developed by the Oracle Corporation. We have a MySQL database is there. We are having a database called as an DB2 developed by IBM. MySQL is an open source database actually, guys. It is maintained by a community. It is not developed by a company, but it is developed by some community actually, guys. Nowadays, SQL came into almost every area actually, guys. Almost every area SQL has been came actually. Later we'll work on that. So Oracle, SQL Server, MySQL, DB2, if we talk about, so many databases are there. So we are going to use this a SQL Server database actually, guys. Now, okay, fine. There is a relational database, but how do you read the data? How do you add the data? How do you modify them? How do you delete the data? For that, a simple technique actually, guys. Look at this concept, guys. So this is the generally the diagrammatical representation of any RDBMS. It may be an Oracle, it may be a SQL Server, it may be a MySQL, it may be a DB2, whatever may be the database, guys, whatever the relational database is there. So whenever you want to manage the data, how do you manage the data? So I want to add some data, guys. How to add the data to a database, or how to modify the data, how to delete the data. So for that, there is some language is required actually, guys. So whenever the user want to interact with any relational database, we require a language called as SQL. SQL and SQL Server is different actually, guys. Please try to differentiate it. SQL Server or a SQL Server is a relational database, which is used to store the data in the format of tables. What is SQL stands for? SQL stands for which is going to be a structured query language. So even I was an expert in SQL also actually, guys. SQL, PL SQL, T-SQL, whatever we call it as actually. But I don't go in depth about them. I was also an expert in SQL also. I can write some complicated queries and database concepts. Even if we have any database queries also, you can ask me. I can explain it. It is SQL stands for structured query language. It's a language actually, guys. Who developed this language? It was developed by the IBM Corporation, guys. Remember, SQL is developed by IBM. And IBM does not say that you can use the SQL. So what is SQL actually, guys? A structured query language, which is acting as an interface between the user and any relational database. User and any relational database. So whenever the user wants to connect to any relational database and whenever they want any management of the data, they should be using a language called as an SQL. So don't confuse between SQL and SQL Server. SQL is a language which is used to manage the data in any relational database. The advantage is one advantage, guys. Using SQL, I not only work with SQL Server, even you can work with Oracle, you can work with MySQL, you can work with DB2, or you can work with Teradata, you can work with any relational database we can work. Almost all you work with any kind of a relational database, they are going to be using the same SQL language. So once if you learn SQL in your life for one time, once if you learn SQL for once in your life, one time it is you have to learn it actually. You can manage any relational databases. Let us say that today your company is using a SQL Server database. Just an example. Currently your company is using a SQL Server database. After you have been worked on 2 years and 3 years, then your company said that let us migrate the SQL Server to immediately to Oracle. Don't worry. You need not to worry about the database. Why? Because whether you work with the SQL Server, whether you work with Oracle, or whether you work with some other database, finally the language is going to be SQL. Finally, the language is going to be SQL, guys. I'll show you. I have multiple databases in my system. I have 3 databases in my system. I will have Oracle in my system. I have a SQL Server in my system, as well as I'm also having MySQL in my system. All the 3 relational databases will be there. You can work with any kind of a database, because for any relational database, the language is going to be SQL is a common language. So SQL was developed by IBM. SQL was developed by IBM, and it is not saying that only IBM databases can use. Any relational database, whether you work with Oracle developed Oracle database, or Microsoft developed a SQL Server, or an open source database called as an MySQL, or whether you want to use IBM database called as a DB2 or any database. Finally, the language is SQL. So SQL must be a common language, guys. For any relational database, you can work. So here also, guys, while you are learning some databases, you are not learning Oracle, you are not learning SQL Server. You are learning SQL, stands for Structured Query Language. And I think you know that generally we are going to spell it as SQL. So this is going to be the name SQL actually, guys. Actually, initially, there is some small history is there. Initially, the name was Structured English Query Language. So guys, once again, I'm telling guys, it is not an SQL class. It is just a basics of SQL only. We are going to learn it actually, guys. You will find out, guys, how important it is going to be there. Without learning SQL, if you go, you will automatically, some points are going to be unconnected. Some points are going to be unconnected. You will have some doubts. But here, once if you clarify that and go there, then everything you can handle it actually. Structured English query language actually, guys. We call it as a structured English query language, SEQUE and L. Okay. So why the name structured English query language? An English language, just very simple, guys. What is SQL, guys? English language arranged in a structured manner. So in a proper English structure, actually, guys. English structure. So an English language arranged in a structured manner for query processing is nothing but what we can call it as SQL. What is the basic requirements of SQL actually, guys? To learn SQL, what is the basic requirements? Only and only English is sufficient. You don't require any knowledge of any other programming languages. No programming language is required actually, guys. No programming languages. If you have some C programming, a little bit idea like why, what is meaning of a function, to understand that is going to be required. Otherwise, it is not at all required at all. So the only prerequisite I say that to learn SQL is going to be English language. Okay. So anyhow, just let me tell you some few points. One of the first point is going to be, guys, it is going to be a non-procedural language. It is a non-procedural language actually, guys. So I know that, guys, what is an importance of SQL? Still now, even some MNC, even some companies, I generally go to this corporate trainings actually, guys. Recently, I done a training in Deloitte. So there for 3 days, we have taught the SQL concepts actually, guys. DBMS and SQL concept for 3 days. Actually, the main training is for data engineering. It's an including Power BI, even Spark and big data systems, and we have Python and we have the SQL. So these are all the total the whatever the basic fundamentals they have to be learning actually. I given a training for 12 days in Deloitte recently. So where we have been taught the SQL concepts for 3 days. 3 days means it is not for 1 hour per day actually, guys. It is from morning 9 o'clock to evening, which is going to be 6 or 6. Sometimes even it is up to 6:30 also. That means almost all 8 hours a day for 3 days, almost all mostly for almost all 3 days we have been taken the particular training actually. That means which is almost all somewhere around some 24 hours of training we have been given for them. See the importance. They didn't say that SQL they will learn by themselves actually. The importance is there actually. Why? Because in Spark they will use as the SQL actually. Spark SQL is there. They are part of data engineering, data analytics. I have been given the training. Almost all 1.5 day for Power BI training. 1.5 hour means 12 hours training it was there. Like that. Big data systems like Hadoop, Hive, etc. That is for another 2 days. Spark is for 3 days. Like that, we have been given some 12 days of training we have been given for that actually. So there each and every basic concepts also we have to teach it actually. So corporate level, imagine how much there are expectation is there. If you want, I'll show you the